It says we're live.
First and foremost, to give a praise and glory to Yahweh.
Yo, Shai, or Shai McCarkadash.
In and around the four winds of the earth. Yeah, man, destruction's on its way, man. Can't keep stressing that notion enough. We're waiting for it to happen, man. We can smell it in the air. You can feel it in the air, man. You know, the current climate right now is pure turmoil around the four winds of the earth. People uprising, you know, uproars against the government. Let's get the second of mine as well after that, after you read your precept. Yeah, man, prophecies are coming to pass, man. You still got blind people out here and blind leaders, you know, out here also, man, leading the flock astray, you know. But the scripture says, "Cursed be the false leader, or cursed be the leader that causeth the blind to wander out of the way." So you know, the blind leads the blind; they both shall fall into the ditch. But if you don't know the times that you're in right now, then you know you're part of the congregation of the dead. And that's not the spirit you want to be in right now, man. With the umbrella up.
Oh, sorry, bro, sorry,
You know,
sorry.
that's not the spirit you really want to be in right now. Because right now is the time to have your eyes wide open, man. Your spiritual eyes, anyway, man. Because shit is about to pop off, man. If you haven't noticed, man.
So, Isaiah 29:6 to start off with. Thou shalt be visited. Water. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire.
Yeah, man. These are just a few examples of how the Lord's going to be visiting this earth in these last days, man. Like right now over there in Brazil, it's snowing, man. We're in the end of July and it's damn near looking like winter wonderland over there in Brazil right now, man. That's from the Heavenly Father, man. If you see the pictures, the videos, man, you would think that's Moscow or something, man. Siberia or something. Even in Russia, like half of it is covered in snow. Like Siberia is all, like usually like cold winter type climates. But then you got the other half of Russia. They got forest fires and shit.
Same with Turkey now.
Yeah. They got massive forest fires burning up their woods and all that.
Yeah.
That's the Lord visiting the earth, man. You know, forget about China. China's still underwater right now. That muddy water.
Yeah.
They're trying to, survive with bloated pigs in them dirty ass waters, man. Their whole shit's fucked up. There's reports of them crying about no food and water, and them still have to, living in all that dirty sewage and all that. There's that flood that happened. Which, even if it's Esau with these different heart machines and all that, he's trying to fuck up the Chinese anyway. It's all ordained by the Father, man. Lord's going to use Esau to fuck up 2/3 of his own people. He's a slayer in the scriptures. So the Lord can do that. He can use the Edomites to mess up the other nations. Just like he's going to use them to punish 2/3 of his own people, man, in these last days.
Second Moses 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Yeah, if he was wise and hip to what's going on, learn to always, be circumspect. Look around, man. Ephesians 5:16, look around, man. Because things are not what it seems, man. Things are going to get drastically and more grotesque and worse out here. It's going to get real uncivil and lawless out here very soon, man. All these mandates, you got these different countries, Bellagio and all these guys, Como, I mean, talking about, mandating the vaccines. I think Paris, they're doing the same thing. That's why they're rioting in Paris right now. As we speak, the Parisians, as they're calling them, Paris people over there, in France, they're rioting uproars, the mandated vaccines right now, as we speak.
And if I can say, the thing with them French is, one, they already love a riot. The French, as they say, they love a riot. But also, what do you have over there a lot in France, man? You have a load of them Ishmaelites, right? From like Morocco and this, that, and the other. Yeah, as Bobby said, that's what the prophecy said of them. That they are, that they're wild people, man. That's it. Oh, sir, Bob, I was gonna say, you remember the video? That the lady in America, she was like, I just got fired from my job because I didn't want to get the vac. She was like, okay, you patriots, you better suit up. Yeah, we're about to go to war. You better suit up, right?
Jakes that was over there, the Vikings and all that. It could be a remnant of one of those, or it could be a straight up Edomite. Who knows, man? Only time will tell. But he made a video talking about mandated vaccines. It's all going to lead to basically lawless societies, man. People just get a guy and ape shit on each other, violence, man.
Yeah.
People, modern day sword is done. So people are going to be like sell market guns over there in America. They're already up
Exactly.
Mark,
Exactly.
since going back a year and a half ago, people were buying guns. You know, when people were panic buying and all that. So imagine now people, you know, they're suiting up, man. They're getting ready, they're prepping and all that.
And all them dumb Democrats are like, no, don't, no guns. They're the ones that are gonna end up being called out there, man. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm saying. See, I think, you know, just want to be in La La Land, man. Niggas still be in Disneyland Paris, man. This shit's gonna get real, man. You ain't gonna have no food in your fridge, let alone have a camera to take a picture, man. In these last days, man. It's gonna get fucking horrific out here, man. People don't see it because they're blind, but that's the Lord, man. He put the spirit in them to be blind, so he can judge their asses when that time comes, man.
Isaiah the 60th chapter verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh is risen upon thee.
Yeah, he's the light. The light is how it shine, man. You know, he's the light, man. He's the savior, and he's giving this truth to his men. Sup with his men. The only true men of the Lord that be elect. You know, you got guys out here feigning the word of the Lord, acting like they're down for the Lord. Really, they're the enemies of the Prophet Yahweh Shai, man. By the statements that come out of their mouth, that filthy communication, man. The Lord forbade, man. You know, perverting the gospel. But the Lord's gonna, as it says in 2 Ezra 16, we're gonna read it. Then it shall be known who are my chosen, man. Because you got certain guys out here promoting that Jake should take the max, take the stabbing jab, and they're gonna do the same thing when the MOTB is instituted, man. They're even coming up against that. They're trying to say the mark of the beast isn't the chip, man. Being straight up reprobates, rebellious, man.
Even then, it's like, why do you want this man inside you? Yeah, literally, yeah. It's like of everything else, why would you want this man able to track your? Because people like, and this is the thing, people like to conflate it with your phone. Oh, but they track you from, yeah, but I can, if I wanted to, I can get a brick tomorrow. If I wanted to, I could go off the grid. But you know why we have these smartphones? Because we got to push this word, man.
It's about to go out and fall into the earth. This is the word. The elect brothers are going to be gathering east and west by the front of the road. By what? By way of the internet, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to get on boats and travel like the Apostle Paul and
Getting shipwrecked and all of that.
Go on the World Wide Web, go to what internet, and brothers get fed like that. That's how we got fed. That's how we got fed through the apostles and elders, the great millstone on down, man. You know, by seeing the apostles and elders and bishops on the internet, man, ministering the word, and brothers waking up through the spirit, man. You know? Not physically have to be there.
And even the cut on that is real quick, just to bring this out. Leviticus 19 and 28.
Yeah.
You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, when you look up the word mark, it's Wi-Fi, and it says, you know, like, you know, it tells you the different descriptions, it's like tattoos and all that, make marking in your flesh. You're not to make any cutting underneath the skin, man. No needles, epidermic needle, or any type of needle, man. No, you're not supposed to make any type of cuttings in your flesh, really.
Yeah, so the Greek word for cutting in the scripture I just read is sarat, which goes into
Hebrew word.
Yes, there's like the Hebrew word is sarat, which goes into incision or cut. So pretty much to insert, which is what the MOTB is, man.
Yeah, they're going to insert underneath your skin as a form of branding, man. You know, and Esau knows about the scriptures in the past that Israel used to, you know, brand, you know, their servants, man. They put all on around the ear, you know, cutting in the flesh, putting all in the ear to show that basically that, you know, there's servitude to their masters, man, to their fellow Israelites, as a fellow worker. But Esau wants to actually put the shit underneath his skin as a, you know, a branding staple mark to show that you're one of these, you know, perpetual slaves, man. That you're not basically, you don't belong to the Heavenly Father, you belong to Him. That's where the Lord's going to step in and destroy two-thirds that bow down and worship His devil. Bow down and need to bow out.
People can say, because you even think, because you know, you got this whole controversy of people, which, you know, I would advise tempting the Lord. You got a whole controversy of people that say you can take it out, but it's like, yo, but you've made a vow to Esau. Yeah, you made a vow at that point, sort of like when, you know, you took that then you're basically vowing to your Lord, say, look, I'm gonna be with you now. You know, and to your you know, your yeah, I'm willing to serve you now.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what it is. It's about serving. You want to serve, man. You want to serve the devil, man. You want to serve man. Lord said you can't have two masters, man.
That's it.
Oh, go read that.
Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other.
Yeah, so Jake's gonna have to make it. That's why Apostle Odin Ram did this live last night, the last temptation. Going into what? The hour of temptation, man. Revelation 3 and 10, man. It's gonna come to that, it's gonna come down to the wire. You're gonna have to make a decision, man. You're gonna serve the Lord, or you're gonna serve Esau, man. It's devil. But that's why the Lord said you gotta have faith. And don't fear this devil, man. Fear him. Don't fear man that can kill the body. But fear the Lord, man. Fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's what you're really supposed to fear. He's the one that can destroy your ass in many different lifetimes over, man. You know, there's no escape with the Lord, man. All this devil can do is kill the body, man. He can't do nothing to your spirit, because the spirit belongs to the Father. But people, you know, they're just people are people. 2/3 they lack faith, man. They lack that substance, man, which really is a gift given onto the elect. That's why it says in 2 Ezra 16. I don't know if you want to get that as well. We're going to read into it. That it's going to come to a time where God's chosen are going to be revealed, man. Why? Because they're the ones that's not going to bow down their knee to Baal. They're not going to accept the mark, which is a physical mark, not a spiritual mark. There's two types of marks, man. You got the physical, which is the mark of the beast, Revelation the 13th chapter 16 verse. Then you got the spiritual, which is in Ezekiel 9 and 4, man. Which is Dawa, man, which is the spiritual mark of exemption from judgment, which is the elect. That's the mark you really want to have. That's only given to the elect.
And that mark is stronger than the other mark.
Yeah, man, that's blatantly definitely more stronger. Right. You know, that's going to bring you salvation. The other mark's going to bring you death, damnation, man. You take the mark of the beast, which is the chip, you're going to get put to death. If you get the mark of the Lord, which is Ezekiel 9 and 4, with Dawa, you're gonna be exempt from judgment, man. You're gonna receive salvation, man. So there's two flip sides of the coin, man. It's balanced right there. Yeah. So who you gonna follow, man? The Lord, you're gonna follow man. And Jake's gonna have to make that decision in these last days, man. Especially you niggas that come up against the scriptures, thinking that the mark of the beast isn't the chip. Still to this day, trying to buck up, man. You're gonna have to make that decision, man. Your leaders are leading you astray. Fair enough.
I'll finish it off. Matthew 6:24. But either he will hate the one and love the other.
Yeah, you gotta hate one and love the other, man. You can't love both. You know, Lord's not gonna let you get away with that, man. You gotta make a decision. That's what the hour of temptation, the last temptation, is gonna be all about. Your faith's gonna be tested, man, to the highest measure, man. You know, every man. That's what you know. Every man's gonna be tested, man. Especially if you're an Israelite, man.
Or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
Yes, if you hold on to this devil, you're basically despise the Lord. So the Lord's gonna have to kill you. Right? You're basically saying, I despise you. I want this devil to be my, you know, my Lord and Savior. So he's gonna have to destroy you, yeah, because the Lord said he's a jealous power. So he's gonna have to destroy you, right? Especially if you're an Israelite.
You cannot serve Yahweh, Yahushua, and Mammon.
You can't serve the Lord and serve money. Because people want to take that chip. Why? Because you're gonna receive money. You're gonna be able to live in society, carry on buying and selling. The new conformed way of buying and selling is going to be swiping at your hand or your forehead on the meter, man, just to go shopping or whatever. So you're choosing money over the Lord.
And he's already getting prepared for it. Because once again, the smart watches, you see people will be going to the to the cash and paying with their their wrist. That motion is already set up in people's minds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rival and money, but then eventually, it's like with all the Eastern things, it's all an agenda, man. That's going to overtake the monetary system. You're going to have to make a decision.
Yeah. You want to carry on, you know, being a sheep of Esau, Edom, or you want to be a sheep of the Lord, you know. And as you always bring up, you know, when you go into Revelation 13 and 16, he calls it, like the brother said, when you go into that word, calls it paeo in the Greek. It means to make ready, to prepare. So they're preparing people for all these mandates now. They're forcing people back into a corner, trying to get people into that scare, fear mongering, You know, I can't do nothing for myself. I need the government to save me, type shit. So now you have to abide to their austerity and wicked decrees, basically. Now, if they mandate, which they're doing right now as we speak, they're mandating people to take the max. People are scared. They ain't got no faith. They don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. They're just going to comply, man. And that's what it's about. Are you going to comply to the point where you're going to give your soul to this devil, not knowing that the Lord's going to destroy you for doing so, right? What it calls it, yeah, it's paeo in the Greek, which means make ready, to prepare, man. So these devils are preparing the whole world on a world stage for this new world order, man.
Yeah, and as the left-hand side is preparing, the right-hand side also prepare also.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge being the stability of our time stands strong.
Yeah, it's a duality and everything. And there are precepts we need to get, but one of them is Psalms, where it talks about the angels protecting, delivering them. When you read from the top of that precept, it says the Lord cry unto the Lord, and He will deliver you from your troubles, man. Then it talks about the angels encamping around them that fear of the Lord. So fear is a big thing. You got to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, otherwise He's not going to protect you.
Hey, these Christians, man, they don't fear. That's why they know the scriptures about making cuttings in the flesh and this, that, and the other. But they do it anyway. They be running. You know, you be get. So I was just saying, and then they're joining Kamala Harris and saying, yeah, you gotta love thy neighbor.
Love working so ill to your neighbor. How about
right.
that? You didn't read that precept.
That's right.
Human, man. But that's the simplicity of our people, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that talks about that in the scriptures, man. Follow not a multitude to do evil.
Yeah.
You know, people being simple and all that, trusting in every word and all that, man. But these devils being led to be sheep led to the slaughter, man. That's what's happening. I don't know.
So it says in verse 25, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on. Is not life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?
So what's it break down to? Faith. You gotta have faith, man. Even if you ain't eating for a few days, the Lord's still gonna protect you. If you're one of His men, He's gonna protect you. Get Isaiah 33:16 real quick up. Just a quick precept to that, because that's what it's gonna come down to, man. That's why it says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability at that time. When people are going buck wild out here, losing their minds, panic buying and going ape shit on each other, you know, breaking into each other's houses, you know, rioting and killing each other in the streets, total lawless in society, man. We're going to be stable-minded. We're going to be sober-minded. People are actually going to see that. They're going to see that, you know, we're not acting like the rest of the people out here. There's something different. And women are going to cling on to that, because women can feel energy, man. They can see, you know, they're social creatures like that. They can see social, you know, social constructs, whatever you want to call it. They can feed off of that. They can you know, adhere to those things. They see those things, man. So they're going to cling on to those men. That's why it says Isaiah 4:1 that 7 women shall take hold of one man. Because they're going to be seeing that, you know, while everyone else is losing their mind, this particular certain group of men that are stable-minded and, you know, their spirit's totally different from everyone else. They're standing out.
Yeah.
They're going to draw near to those men, man.
And since Proverbs, the first chapter, where Proverbs 1 around about the 20th verse onwards, it speaks about how, you know, we're going to be laughing at all the things that are happening, and the calamities. It says, I will laugh at your calamities, when you're such a comment as the whirlwind. But how is the Lord going to be doing that through His men? Right, and the precept to that is Isaiah 65:13 also. It speaks about how, we shall laugh and you shall be suffering, we shall eat and you shall be hungry, all of the above.
In Job, it told you, coming in destruction, we shall laugh. So we ain't going to be fear frightened. Obviously, it's going to be a fearful time, but we ain't going to be frightened like these people bugging out. Because we know it's the Heavenly Father bringing judgment, man. Just like when we see all these so-called mother nature worldly disasters that happen, we know that's the Lord bringing it, man. Even last week, brothers was videotaping flash floods that we had in London. That's never happened before. Typhoon type weather that's making flash floods and, you know, fucking up the drainage and all that. Little mediocre little big ass, you know, little brooks basically in the middle of the damn road. You know, but we was praising Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for that. We know it's Him that's bringing it, man. We weren't fearful. You know, that's judgment, man, to the wicked. People were getting judged in that day, man. All people were getting hurt in that day. So, that's why we're not going to be afraid. We know we got the Lord on our side because we're doing the Lord's work. We're doing the labor. So that we can be protected these last days. Isaiah 33.
Isaiah 33 and 16. He shall dwell on high, his place of defense.
He that dwell on high.
Yeah.
No, okay. That's
Isaiah 33 and 16. He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. Bread shall be given him. His water shall be sure.
Yeah, man. That's for the men of the Lord. They're going to be protected, man. You get Psalms 34 and 7. I know about the angels. Yeah, they're going to be protected, man. Why? Because they're doing the will of the Lord, man. We're doing the hard work now, so in that time we don't have to suffer, man. We're suffering now, so we don't have to suffer with the world. That's what the scripture says, right? So, we're doing the right thing. Why everyone's looking at us like we're fools for Christ's sake, or fools for how much the yuck's sake, shall I say? We're doing the right thing. In the eyes of the Lord, we're in these good graces. And we're covered, basically. We've got the hegemony around us, man. And that's going to be shown more and more in these last days as we get closer and closer to the day of the Lord, man. Our temptation.
Psalms 34 and 7. The angel of the Lord encamped. Psalms 34 and 4. I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed.
Yeah, we're not going to be ashamed, man. If we sought the Lord, we did what the Lord said to do, just like Yahweh Shai did 2,000 years ago. John 17 is like a whole chapter dedicated to that, of the Lord saying what he came to do the Father's will, and that he came to, retrieve the elect, give them the Lord, them the Lord's name, fed them with the word, gave them the truth, and for the Heavenly Father to protect them in these last days, the end of the world, which we're in right now. Those men are reincarnated and come back in their lot. Those same men that was with Yahweh Shai back then, they come back in their lot now, man. And they're doing the same works they were doing back then, prophesying, man. So they're going to be revealed who those true men are. And you're seeing it starting from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man. If you didn't know, man, that's the hedge, that's the presbytery right there. That's the start of the body of Yahweh Shai, basically. There's only one body in Yahweh Shai that tells you the preach before. Different parts of that one body. But it's all one body, man. And all these other groups outside of that are not pushing the truth of 100% truth. They're not part of the body of Yahweh Shai, man.
There's the angel. So the poor man cried, and the Lord Yahweh heard him and saved him out of all his troubles.
Yeah, who's the poor man? Us, man. We're the ones in the poor, low state right now, man. We're the ones that's broken-hearted and contrite in spirit. Yes, last night, just saw I told the brother, saw a 7-foot tranny, man. Blonde wig, red dress, short skirt, high heels, man. But 7 foot tall, wearing shades, man. You can tell that's a straight up, look like a damn NBA player, man. In drag, man. Just walking and just gallivanting on the high street, man. But we have to put up with that. But that's the what I'm saying. That's our spirits crying out to the Lord for the judgment to come in this place, man. Because we're sick and tired of this space, man. This place is too wicked, man. Our spirits is constantly crying to the Lord, man. It's abomination, man.
The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Verse 9. O ye saints, O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no one of them that fear him.
Yeah, so who's the saints, man? Not everyone. The only saints are the Israelites, man. But even within the Israelites, who are the saints really? They're elect. They're the ones that the angels are going to be encamping around these last days, man. Not everyone. A lot of Jakes right in these last days are going to be getting killed by the angels, man. In these last days, they ain't going to be getting delivered, man. But they're going to be being protected, man. And death angels are going to be out here too, man. That's why there's going to be so much blood in the streets. A lot of judgments coming, man.
Psalms 37:28. For the Lord Yahweh loveth judgment.
Yeah, he loveth judgment.
And forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off.
Yeah, the elect are preserved forever. Israel is the Most High. That's who the Lord really cares about. Not all Israel. The majority of our people are rebellious, man. Yeah.
But Apostle Babaz did an excellent video on the fact that the hopeful elect, brothers pushing this word in sincerity, we have the understanding that the Lord deals with duality, meaning that both good and evil comes from the Lord, which all rooted into Isaiah 33:6 is going to be part of our knowledge and wisdom and understanding that although shit is going to be crazy, we're going to be seeing real terrifying things that will literally cause a man to literally to die from the fear of the fearful sight of them alone, that they're coming from the Lord, man, and ultimately the power that we serve. So really and truly, as long as we've done what we need to do to be right by the Lord, we'll be preserved. The Lord with us.
I was thinking of that precept where it says, we live unto the Lord, we die unto the Lord. Yeah. But yeah, because as the brothers going into everything that we go through in them days, right, because we understand that things are the judgment of the Most High, right? We might be with your family in that day, and then your child might, get taken out, and then you say, hey, that was the will of the Lord. Just keep it moving.
Why? Because there's examples of many righteous men in the scripture.
Yeah.
These children got taken out. It's not a new one. It's like,
Their sons got taken out, Aaron and all that, high priests and all that, So it's not far fetched. Even David, he had some wicked sons, man. Absalom and all that.
Shagged his wife on top of all the world
Yeah,
to
one
see.
of his concubines, right?
Yeah, for all the world to see.
On the balcony and all that. I think it's one of them raped the daughter. What was it, Shema or one of them?
Oh yeah, no, I think one of his
daughters.
One of his sons raped his sister.
Shema. Yeah, so there's always a wicked sperm cell in the flock, man. You know what I'm saying? You always get the good with the bad, basically. But the Lord, even King Solomon, Rehoboam, he went off after a while. You know what I'm saying? You had Rehoboam and Jeroboam, but they went off. The kingdom split. They was going off into their idols and all that. So they did, Jake always, like to go off, basically. They're known for going off. But you got the elect that basically has been with the Lord since the beginning, man. Those elect spirits that are, the first fruits. And they're back here today. They're going to be retained and they're going to be preserved. Remnant, for the kingdom of heaven.
Proverbs 11:1 says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
Yes, you have to have the good with the bad. That's why the Lord said, I kill and I make alive. I bringeth good and he bringeth evil, man. It's the Lord that does all these things. You can't say it's, Satan done it. It's the Lord that did it. He gave the command, man. He ordained Satan to do what he's doing. The Lord has righteous angels and he has wicked angels, man. He just has the right hand and the left hand side. Duality and everything. There's balance and everything. He's a just power.
Think about the last deliverance from Egypt and this deliverance from Egypt. The chariot on one hand was making it difficult for the Egyptians, but it was making it easy for the Israelites, just like how in this time, but the chariots are going to be coming there to do the destruction, but also to assist in the deliverance, man.
Yeah, just like back then when you had the 40 years of Jake walking in the wilderness of sin, those wicked ass Israelites got destroyed. Same thing's going to happen now. Except this time they're not going to be delivered, man. They're not going to be able to get beamed up in the ships. They're going to die in wherever they're at, especially over there in the shores of America. 2/3 of Jake are going to be wiped out, man. They ain't going to be delivered and be in the wilderness for 40 years this time. The Lord's not going to do all that, bro. They're going to die over there in the shores of America, man. And then they're going to come back in their right mind as they're reborn in the kingdom. So the Lord's definitely a just power, man. You can't say the Lord's unjust. In what way, shape, or form, man? The Lord gives balance and everything, man. God gives you a chance to get right. Don't get right, you have to deal with the judge, man. That's balance in itself.
Amos 9:10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Yeah, and verse 8 tells you that the Lord's eyes are upon the kingdom. The angels are watching America, man, Babylon the Great. That's why America is never going to be made great again. That place is on the rise of straight turmoil and pure destruction, man. The Lord's got his eyes on that place, man. That's why there are things going on in America right now, man. They're about to evict 10 million people and all that, man. It's going to be all out chaos over there in America. Anarchy, civil unrest, man. Like never before seen on your television screen, man. The revolution is going to be televised. It's not the revolution you think people that's going to be coming. It's not for America's betterment. The revolution is going to be for America's destruction, man. That's going to be televised. Everyone's going to see that worldwide. America's destruction, man.
This is Sirach 33 and 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
Yeah, man. The Lord created a vessel for honor, and the rest for vessel for dishonor, man. Vessel fitted for destruction, which is Esau and Edom. He created the wicked for the purpose for them to be destroyed in the end. But he also created the righteous, which is his people, man, the Israelites. Even though they're going off right now, the majority, he has these elect. He has that remnant within his seed that's going to, replenish the earth in the near future, man. The Lord's kingdom. So even there's duality with that. The Lord created the good, which is the Israelites, the righteous seed, and he created the wicked, the Edomite. That's why they can never be changed, man. That's why you devil, you Jakes, that you're knocking on wood, thinking that this devil's going to change in the near coming future, and you're going to get your reparations and all that. He's never going to change, man. The Lord didn't make him to change. The Lord created him to be the wicked, man. So you're not getting that for your thick skulls, man. So the Lord's going to have to make this devil release them horns to show you he's the devil. That's why Revelation 12 and 12 is going to happen, man. Majority of you chicks are going to get wiped out.
And then you're going to end up with that proverb. I believe it's a God out Reuben out proverb, where what do you call it? Where basically a woman nurses a snake back into life.
Yeah, can't.
And it kills her. And
yeah,
it goes,
"What bit me? Why did you fight him, man?
Well,
you always
you're
a snake. What the hell? That's what Esau Edom is. He's a damn serpent, man. He's the devil. That old serpent, the devil, and Satan. That's Esau Edom today, man. If you haven't known, man, check the MO, check their history, man. Nothing but wickedness and devilry all throughout their fucking different kingdoms and rulership, man. That's the spirit that's in them. They can't change, man. They don't want to change, man.
So Jeremiah 13:23, can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may you also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
That's all this Esau knows how to do, is be evil, man. Why? Because he's created to be evil. Proverbs 16 and 4, man. He was created for the day of evil, man. So let him be the devil he's supposed to be, man. Because at the end, he's still gonna have to pay for his crimes. Yeah. He's not gonna go unscathed. He's not gonna go unpunished. The wicked's not gonna be acquitted, man. So let him do what he's doing. But we need to wake up, man. Our people need to wake the fuck up, man, out of that deep sleep and realize who the so-called white man is. Your enemy, man. He's not your friend. He's trying to kill you right now. He's trying to buy a weaponry warfare your ass right now with these Maxines. And ultimately with that chip, man. Those who don't want to take the chip, it says that you should be killed. So there's going to be a lot of dead bodies out here.
And Esau is going to make the conditions such that people are going to be wanting to take the MOTV.
Desperate, man. Like they're desperate now.
Yeah.
Desperate to go on holiday, so they're running to the clinics, lining up in droves to take some stupid jabs.
Yeah, which call on my way because I had to run some errands in the morning, man. Just watching these people all lining up outside the clinic because I need to do my fit to fly test and all of this, that, and the other. It's like, all right, you should have saved that money, spend it on food because the shelves are being emptied, man. But this is the thing. That's how we know. That's why we're confident that this whole thing is an agenda. Why? Because we're saying, okay, wait there, you're talking about this one small thing here, but what about all of these other problems that are festering, but this man's not talking about?
It's concentrating on the propaganda, using the propaganda machine, which is the media, push those narratives. Now the concentration is not on the vaccinated, but the unvaccinated now. Now that's a total different agenda, and they're going to be targeting, the men of the Lord, basically, because we're the ones refusing to comply. Scripture says, be transformed with the renewing of your mind. Don't conform to this world, man. But why the majority of the people are conforming and bowing down to this devil? Men of the Lord are not going to conform, man. That's why these devils are they're gonna have to come down on the men of the Lord, man. Try and force the hand, basically, man. And that's why they're trying to demonize us, or demonize the unvaxxed right now. Right as we speak. Now they're targeting the people that don't want to take these poisons and saying you're the reason that it's spreading them.
When you look at the trend in the scriptures from all of the captivities we've been in from Egypt, where you had Moses and Aaron go up to the head government of Egypt against Pharaoh, when you had Mordecai and Esther with Haman. You had it to where in the time of the Greeks, man, you had Antiochus march down, and he was a higher up in the Greeks, and you had certain of our people come up against him. You had your Yahushua during the time of the Romans and the apostles. It's only fitting that that same trend is going to continue into this time right now. So you can't be there like days ago. Like Apostle Gabar always goes into, you really have to know what you're involved in, because literally the scripture tells no lie when it talks about us being taken to the gates of the noble. It's a trend that's happening throughout the scriptures in all of the different captivities we've been. Even in the book of Judges, man, the judges have to go out ultimately, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, the servant's not greater than the master. The Lord said they're going to suffer these things in these last days. Why? Because for the word of the Lord, man, they're going to be reviled, they're going to be hated, they're going to be looked down upon, demonized, despised. People are going to actually want to murder us like they tried to do, like they did to the apostles, man. And there was the majority of Jakes that was doing that, man, back then. So you know, them that killeth the Lord's men, you know, the prophets. You know, that was the wicked ass Israelites back then, man. It was giving them up to the Roman authorities, man, to be you know, to be killed, to be restrained, to be, you know, jailed up and all that, man. And they're gonna do the same thing now, man. It tells you that Matthew 10 we're gonna be brought before governors and councils and all that, man. Judges. Don't expect anything different. We're just in a different time right now. But the same things are gonna happen. There's nothing new under the sun. As I said, the servant's not greater than the master, but is that going to break our faith? No, man. Those men maintain the faith unto the end. We're going to do the same as well, man. We're going to do the same thing, man. We ain't going to comply to this devil, man. No matter what this devil throws at us, man. That's not the spirit of the men of the Lord. God said they give us a spirit of fear, man. Sound mind, and no.
It says, he that shall seek to save his life shall lose it.
Yeah.
He that shall lose his life shall save it.
Yeah. So God, when you come into the street, giving up everything for the Lord anyway, there shouldn't be nothing new, you know. It should be just something, you know, it's another test, you know. Something else I have to give up. You're not going to give your soul to this devil. You know? Give your soul to the Lord, man. Protection.
I'll go through it quickly. It's just the wicked history of our people. Nehemiah 9:20. Thou gavest also thy good spirit to instruct them, and withheld not thy manna from their mouth, and gavest them water for their thirst. Yea, 40 years did thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. Moreover, thou gavest them kingdoms and nations, and did divide them into corners, so they possessed the land of Sihon, and the land of the king of Heshbon, and the land of Og, king of Bashan. Their children also multiplied this thou as the stars of heaven, and broughtest them into the land concerning which thou had promised unto their fathers, that they should go in and possess it. To the point, verse 26. Nevertheless, they were disobedient and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, and slew thy prophets, which testified against them to turn to thee, and they wrought great provocations. Therefore thou delivered them into the hand of their enemies, who vexed them. And in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven, and according to thy manifold mercy, thou gave them saviors, who saved them out of the hand of their enemies. But after they had rest, they did evil again before thee. Therefore leftest thou them in the hand of their enemies, so that they have dominion over them. Yet when they returned and cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven, and many times did thou deliver them according to thy mercy.
Yeah, so that's like a synopsis. The many times the Lord stood up and delivered Jacob, and they've gone back to that rebellious state, man. You know, the 2/3, you know, you've always had the wicked, rebellious, the undesirables of the nation, man.
Yep.
They've always come up against the Lord and rebelled, and then they received that judgment, man. This kingdom is no different, except that, you know, this time, as I said, the Lord's not going to deliver all his wealth. He's just going to deliver his men. He's going to change their bodies. He's going to give them a new heart of flesh, you know, get rid of that stony heart, and the elect are going to be beamed up in them ships. The rest that are blinded are going to be destroyed, man. That's the difference, man. So that was a synopsis of Israelite history right there, how rebellious Jake can be. No, it's as a sin of witchcraft, man. And a witch is supposed to be put to death, man. Burned at the stake. That's what's going to happen. Jake's going to get burnt by nuclear fire. 2/3 are going to be burnt by nuclear fire, man. So they're going to be burnt like a witch, man, for being rebellious.
Lord ain't going to protect them against evil. He's going to, because here's the thing, this is the problem of our people. They think complying with these is going to save their life.
Yeah,
they don't understand, man. doing it, yeah, for real. You're doing a complete opposite. Like them people that are scared to, that have been paid off to stop teaching this truth. Guess what? He already knows who you are. He already knows you have influence. So here it is, you sold out, but he's gonna kill you anyway.
False leaders out there.
Yeah.
Charlatans, but they're going to try to stay. Eventually, the Lord's going to get them anyway. Might flee from your congregation time of Jacob's trouble, but Lord's got your number, man. For teaching lies, all that blood's on your hands, man. So you're gonna have to pay for that, man. Teaching lies, man. You don't repent,
Got one. It says, Romans 9:6 says, notice though the word of the Most High hath taken none effect, but they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
Yeah, man. That's just to pay it back, man. You got guys out here that want to teach, bring all Israel together. That's not gonna happen, man. The Lord said all Israel is not of Israel, man. There's no way we can all come together right now. Only the elect's gonna come together. The ones that are speaking the same thing. The one body in Yahweh Shai, man. There's not two bodies, not three bodies, only one body in Yahweh Shai, and that's the elect body, man. That's the true men of the Lord, man. They ain't gonna be taken by all these strong drink, basically, man. Vain doctrines of men in the world, man. They ain't gonna be seduced by that, man. Like these other guys are doing, man.
1 Thessalonians 2:13. Yeah. But this cause also we thank Yahweh without ceasing. Huh? 1 Thessalonians 2:11. Yeah, and 1 Thessalonians 2:11, as you know, we are exhorted and comforted and charged every one of you as a father.
That second verse. Oh, stuff.
This is 1 Thessalonians 2:13. For this cause also we thank Yahweh without ceasing, because when you received the word of the Most High, which you heard of us, you received it not as a word of man, but as it is in truth, the word of Yahweh, with
the Holy Spirit.
With effectuality worketh also in you that believe. For ye, brethren, became followers of the churches of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, which in Judea are in Mashiach Yahweh Shai. But ye also have suffered like things of your own countrymen, even as they have of the Jews, who both killed the Lord Yahweh Shai and their own prophets, and have persecuted us, and they please not Yahweh, and are contrary to all men.
Yeah, now you got guys that's even trying to denounce the fact that the Lord Yahweh Shai did all those miracles 2,000 years ago. See, it's like the guys that are showing their hand that they basically don't believe in the Lord, man. If you're going to contest that the Lord actually done miracles, then that means you don't really believe in the Lord, man. Who do you believe in, man? Why are you even calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite? You don't even believe in the Lord and Savior, man. You don't want to worship him, certain guys teach you don't have to worship Yahweh Shai and all that, man. Saying the scripture. All right, you man are going off, man. Now you're saying that the Lord didn't do one in Yahweh Shai. They even got the title one in Yahweh Shai as a name for their camp, but they don't believe in Yahweh Shai's miracles, man. What the hell are you teaching to your congregation, man? That's confusion, man.
I was gonna say that makes John a liar? Because at the end of John it says, and all the miracles of the Lord are so many that they're not able to be written. That makes him a liar. That says what?
Yeah. So, man, also says in John that you got to believe in the Lord as the scripture saith, man. You don't believe in the Lord as the scripture saith, you're not going to receive the word of the Lord, the Spirit. The full understanding, man. You guys are going off, man. But that just shows that these guys are really showing their hand. They don't really believe in the Lord, man. They're teaching Yahweh Shai for contention, really, man.
If you say the Lord didn't perform one of those miracles, then really and truly you're trying to disannul the majority of the New Testament.
Yeah.
Because really, and how if the Lord didn't perform those miracles, how did then Peter and the rest of the apostles gain the ability?
Yeah.
So then, what's the whole book of Acts about then? Like, how do you even?
Even now, also we're going to receive power in these last days, man. Said wait, and you're going to receive power. In the book of Luke says that. The book of Acts it says that, man. So what are you talking about, man? So what? We're not going to receive spiritual power now as well. We're not going to receive those new bodies, man. It's all a fantasy. It's all fables. You guys are this. You're pushing leaven and it's building into a fucking, a virus, man. That's why it has to be cut out, man.
Hey, if I can say, I remember that Brother Carr saying this years ago about how it's a miracle, the fact that we even know this truth.
No, bro. Miracle, man. Well, you had the woman had the dream. The angel revealed the name of the Lord to her in a dream, man. He revealed the name of the Lord to her in a dream. Said, like, call upon the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and you'll be all right. In her dream, man. She didn't know the name of the Lord before that. She did a video about it, you know, glorifying the name of the Lord, glorifying the fact that an angel revealed it unto her. So that just shows you that the Lord's opened the minds of certain people, man, men and women. Really, the men starts with the men. They're the prophets at the end of the day. It tells you in the book of Joel and the book of Acts that, you know, our people are going to prophesy, man. Men and women alike. Meaning they're going to get the revelations of the Lord, man. They're going to receive the name. And it's only by that name you're going to be able to be saved. I don't know if you get that, Joel 2. It actually says that in that precept, man. Those are the only names you're going to be able to receive salvation from, man. So that dream that that woman had was authentic, man. That's straight up in the spirit. She actually received the word of the Lord, the name of the Lord in her dream. You know? That shows you that Hebrew is very important, man. Now we have got the Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, the Holy Tongue. That is the Paleo Hebrew, man. That is the right Hebrew. You guys got coming out here saying we ain't got the right Hebrew and all that, man. Oh, shit. You didn't even know anything about being a Hebrew Israelite before the apostles and elders of Great Muslim came on YouTube anyways. Unless you might have come across late. But even, you know, you want to come, you didn't understand, you didn't know your ass from a hole in the ground. Now all of a sudden you're the expert on ancient Hebrew, saying that we don't have the Hebrew, we don't have the name. You guys are fumbling, man, straining that and that, waxing worse and worse, man, to your own peril. You know, all we can do is warn you, man, to make you wake up out of that stupidity, man. If you don't wake up, then that's your strong delusion that the Lord sent upon you, man. That's a strong delusion that the Lord's using to basically pass that judgment upon you.
I'm not the one that act cool.
Yeah, but I wanted Joel too, man. What's up prophesying all that?
This is Matthew 22:29. It says, Yahushua answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of the Most High.
Yeah, you err, man. The reason why we're standing here before you right now is because the Lord released the Spirit, man. He endowed the Holy Spirit to come down upon us to receive this word, man, through our teachers, through our elders and apostles, man. If it weren't for the Lord doing that, we would still be walking around thinking that we're West Africans and Jamaicans and, you know, Native Americans and Latino, all this other shit, all these derogatory terms, slave names, basically. Not knowing we come from a royal stock, man, in the Bible, man. All these stories that's written of in the Bible is about us. We wouldn't have known that, man. We would have just thought we're still Africans are swinging on monkeys in the street like Esau has been portraying in society, man, for the longest, man. Because that's how the majority of our people think. They still think they're Africans and shit like that. They don't realize that they're the people written off the Bible, man. No, they come from that royal stock, that royal line of Israelites, the sons of the Most High, princes of the power, man. Yasha Allah. That's the Spirit of the Lord being revealed unto us. We didn't come up with all that by ourselves. That's the Spirit of the Lord. Even Esau Edom fought tooth and nail to hide his truth.
Yeah.
But his truth came out.
Hey, the Lord took it away from us. Jeremiah 17:4. People have always discontinued from our heritage.
He did. Esau beat our heritage out of it, man. We've got the roots. All them different movies, man. Dingo, you know, Goodbye Uncle Tom. We've got all the movies of Jake. How the devil re-educated us, basically, man. And beat our nationality out of us, man. You know, put us in his full system, you know,
yeah.
And re-educated us, basically brainwashed us, whitewashed our minds, man.
Yeah. And that whole separating of the families, that means you can't pass things down.
That's the heritage.
Yeah. Because it's sort of like where they going get it from, man.
Yeah, the slaves that came on the ships, you know, the good Jesus and all them different ships. Those ships, those cargo slave ships that Jake was carted off into the new world, the Western world. They were speaking Hebrew, man. Those devil conquistadors, the Spanish, they had Hebrew interpreters and all that, man. The conquistadors. Even in the new movie, Jungle Cruise with the Wayne Rock, you know, the first opening of that movie, it talks about the conquistador going over to the new world to basically steal some resources out of the earth that can basically heal, that healing medicines, because he wanted to get those natural resources. It shows the conquistador that went over to the new world to basically fuck with the native tribes over there, and he ended up getting cursed and getting devoured by the earth and all that, and got judged basically those natives judged us, which really that's what they should have done when they came across those devils in the first place, because it was called it was called manifest destiny. that which happened was meant to happen. Jake was going off. We were supposed to go into slavery under these devils. That's why Columbus came over to the New World and he did what he did, because it was prophesied that we was going to go into captivity under our enemies, man, which is the Edomites, the so-called white man. Deuteronomy the 28th chapter told you, man. We went up to New Egypt. We went up to Egypt in ships, which is America. People are starting to realize that now. It's not talking about no ancient Egypt. People are starting to identify that the new Egypt that is talking about Deuteronomy 28, 68, because the apostles and elders broke it down, that's talking about America, man. You got even Edomites saying that now. But they don't fully understand the scriptures. You know, it says in Daniel 12:10, the wicked shall not understand. But they understand certain concepts so that, yeah, they did enslave the Israelites, man. They know who they enslaved, man. These devils ain't stupid, man. You know, they got the ancient postcards and all that, man, and who they were selling them auction in blocks. But so lucky, just to go that point in that new movie, Jungle Cruise, it shows you that these devils knew who they was coming to conquer when they went over to the so-called New World, which was the Americas. For them conquistadors, those and the conquerors of the West, Columbus and all that, man. You know.
War free, and they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
That's what they did, man. They put us some auctioning blocks to separate the families, put some different plantations, man, shipping us around the four winds of the earth, you know, different parts of America, north, south, central. We were indigenous, we were like, you know, chattel slavery to these devils. And that's why they don't look at you no different as we're speaking right now. That's why Biden making all these different unjust laws to persecute Jake, you know, because they still look at us as their slaves, man. We're still chattel slaves to them, man. It's just that you're a digital slave, man. They want to make you digital slave.
The slave has no say in any matter.
You have no rights, man.
You tell the slave, yo, you don't take this thing.
Yeah,
boy. Just like just like in Goodbye Uncle Tom, right? What the Jake wasn't eating no pork, so it was like, yeah, you think you ain't eating no pork? Cool. So they got the thing, bam, took out his teeth. Yeah. You took the hammer or whatever, broke the slave's teeth, and then put the funnel in the slave's mouth and forced the pork down. Just like with this new thing. It's like, yeah, you sure?
It forces down, forces down your throat, basically. Mandate, man. That's basically what the New World Order is about. Force feeding you, man, with this New World Order. And, you know, majority of the people they're gonna comply because they ain't got no defense, man. You know, they've been broken down slowly but surely, gradually over time. So they ain't got no choice but to comply because they don't believe in the Lord, the power of the Bible. They don't believe in the Lord, man. They don't know the Lord. You know, the Lord doesn't know them. So they ain't got no protection, man. That's why it's imperative to get this truth now, man. We're coming out here week in and week out, harping this truth, because this truth is really, linked to your salvation, man. If you don't have this truth, like the brothers have been doing sit down this week, like if you don't believe in the Lord, man, you're not going to be delivered, man. You have to believe, man.
Psalms 94:20. So the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law.
Yeah, Esau famous mischief by a law, man. It's all mischief that he's doing. All this shit that's going on right now, it's all witchcraft, man. Yeah. It's pure mischief, man. And he's framing it by a law.
If I can say, you said it's all witchcraft, and it's the thing. It's how you know this man is the devil, because the word devil means
deceiver.
Devil.
He's a pure devil, man. You don't understand. You've been calling this white man the devil for the longest for a reason. Now you're gonna witness why he's the devil, man. You're gonna actually see why we called him Diablo in the first place, man.
Yeah, I was going to go into, because what this man uses maths and statistics, which the word math goes back to the Hebrew of math. True, but this man uses math to basically tell lies, man. You be bringing out all of these statistics, twisting, twist the truth. Because then you actually go into these statistics and you're like, but wait, that doesn't actually prove anything that you're saying. Like, for instance, they've got this whole thing about so most of the people, like 99% of them that have died from this thing, they were unjabbed or whatever, what have you.
Bro,
Right.
last week they said the UK had 0 cases. Then, like 2 days ago, they said they got 25,000 cases out of nowhere. Where did those 25,000 cases come from, bro? Last week you just said there was 0 cases in the UK. Then all of a sudden you got 25,000 cases. Now everyone has to be mandated to get vaxxed. That don't make no sense, bro. How did you get 25,000 cases out of nowhere in just a few days? That shows you they're just lying, bro. They're twisting the truth, man. They're using the maths, like the brother said, which goes back to the word of mouth, the truth. They're using that math and they're twisting the truth, man, to push their lies.
Yeah.
Framing mischief by law.
Right. Because I always say as well, because of that 99%, do you know what period they're talking about? Since February, since before people were getting the things anyway. So what does that go to show you? Like, most people only ever read the headline, and they're gonna come.
Yeah.
Exactly. People are gonna come up to so did you know, like 99%? Yeah, but what time period are we talking about? That's it. This is the thing where we're living in a time where critical thinking and questioning everything is important. That's why I was at 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? You know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man.
Yeah, now like that critical thinking, questioning authority is now illegal. Now.
Yeah.
Question them, now you're liable to be arrested and put to sleep, basically, man. Especially if you're an official in the medical field.
Oh yeah.
You come out speaking this truth, use your license, you go to jail. You might end up just missing in general, man. Might kill you and your family. You know, that's what's gonna start happening. It's been happening. You know, so they like to silence a lot of these people that come out, man. Especially that's people that's in the hierarchies and the cabal and all that come out and start speaking. They silence them, man, because they don't want you to get this just truth that they're lying to you.
Well, very quick one. Sirach 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. This is not about, this ain't about healing people. Because surely if this was about healing people and you've got these other physicians that are coming up against the vaccines saying that there's better ways of healing yourself, if they were really about healing the nation and getting through the pandemic, they'd be open to other opinions. They'd be open to trialing out the different types of medication. But they ain't. Because at the end of the day, it's all about keeping you perpetually sick, keeping you on those potions, right?
I was gonna say as well, like when you go to these tests, these times they have other less invasive tests you can use, but Esau basically forces the one that goes up your nose, man. These times you can spit into a vial, and then that can in the same level of what's the word I'm looking for? Same time, it was the same accuracy basically, like two percentage points difference, right? They could basically do that, but now they're insisting on these other things, man. Right, because there's always a different, a better way with Esau, but Esau's always got that witchcraft in his mind, man.
That's what it's about, man. That's how he tells you that, man. I think that's so much. Have a book. What? Might as well get that. Have a book or a name.
Gather 4 nations unto himself.
Yeah. That's what he's doing, man. Through his witchcraft, to gather the nations unto himself, man. Now he's doing that for what, the NWO agenda. That's what the whole New World Order is about, gathering all the nations, man, into himself to accept his new way of buying and selling, man.
Hey, I was just thinking of real quick, right? Because I was just thinking, what was in Genesis, the 11th chapter, right? When basically they were building and, everything, things were coming together, right? But it was when things were coming together, the Lord came and was like, this ain't happening. And put it. Yeah, just like now, he's putting this thing together, and the Lord's just going to be like, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah.
Just like back then, like the brother saying, he's not going to be with it, man, because the Lord doesn't want everyone to come together. Yeah. That's why the Lord separated the nations and gave them their own lands in the first place, man. That's why he did that. He separated them. The Lord's a separatist, man. He likes segregation. Nothing wrong with segregation. We ain't supposed to be all gelled up in a melting pot together, man, because that breeds nothing but confusion as well.
Hey, Jake was better off when we was away from you. Like, when Jake was doing that own thing, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that, right? Jake was doing cool, but then guess what? He, being the slimy little devil that he is, he got hurt, man. He got hurt. One, because ultimately the scripture says, Micah 2, right? This ain't our rest. right? So and also the curse says, look, man, I'm gonna pursue you. What is it?
Yeah. Part of that confusion as well is like you worshiping gods of the other nations, man, instead of your own power. That's why we're not all supposed to come together, because these other nations, they have their own way, man. They're heathens, man.
And ultimately, Jake, the Lord knew that Jake would start going in on these heathen women and start. And what did he? And you see it all the time. These heathen women will make their men start doing certain things right out of their own. You know, all of a sudden, yeah, it happened to King Solomon. That's perfect example. First Kings, the 11th chapter.
Man.
You know,
Even he was trying to deceive.
Yes.
Enticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you read the account in Ezra, right in the Bible. Yeah, the children have forgotten the languages and this, that, and the other.
Start mixing the cultures, and then you start discontinuing from your heritage, man, because you want to follow the way of the heathen.
Yeah,
because they ain't got no power, they don't have no laws, and they don't have no restrictions, man. They just have to do as thy will, man.
Yeah.
They can hump the grass and all that, man. Drink cows piss and all that, man. You know, that's what these heathens do.
Yeah.
They do sick shit like that. They eat any amount of filth and abomination that's not lawful. And they don't have no care in the world, man. That's why the Lord gave us law, statutes, and judgments in the first place, to distinguish us from the heathen, man. Show the right way of how you're supposed to be.
Yeah. Hey, men be getting with gooks, and then all of a sudden now you be seeing him eating a sushi with a chopstick,
fried rice and all that, man. Wow. Eating some snake lizard and snake ribs and all that. That's what eating crocodile and all these different things. That's what you're gonna end up doing, man. That's why the Lord separated us in the first place, man.
Yeah.
Habakkuk 2:4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, that's this devil for you. Neither keepeth at home. He's always intruding and sticking his nose in other people's business there where it's not warranted or wanted, man. Why? Because he neither keepeth at home, man. And he's just a devil, man. He's a demon, man. Can never be satisfied, man. With blood alone, man.
And there's this death.
He's just death, man. Anywhere he goes, he gets the train of death and destruction. That's what this Maxine, man. Everyone's dropping dead and shit, man. He is his death, man. Why are you trusting this devil when you hear about the amount of people that are getting side affected and dropping dead, man?
Live reaction.
49 niggas or something like that in Jersey last week. They just dropped dead and taking the max because they trusted it. Well, one other fat bitch, she was in the medical field or something. I think I was posted up in the group chat. She dropped dead because she took the vaccine.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is, though, them people there would have been all proud about it. Especially, you get these people. Yeah, I got mine. Well, why haven't you got yours? Yeah, Burns and Law. Wait, prior cover before destruction.
Yeah, now you're dead.
Now you're dead.
And be not be a person when he's none of his ways.
That's it, man. Don't be seduced by the wicked, man.
So what if you can't travel? So what if you can't go to a damn? I hate going restaurants anyway, man.
That's shit, man.
You know,
pay all that expensive money for that shit ass food anyway. Even the other day we went to a restaurant and the shit was cold as fuck. Like the food was on the like chilling on the glass plate for so long that they forgot that was part of man's menu and order. They just left it on the side or something. The shit was hard, man. Shit was like wood, like fuck this. Why is it so cold, man?
That's it. But then in the back of your mind, like, man, if I just ate at home that nice jollof.
Brothers got some lamb ribs on the side, and they end up charging man like extra piece for it, man. And it shit wasn't even worth
what it was. Ain't been updated.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth what man ordered, man. You know, would have been better if you cooked on a barbecue at home or something, man. So really, man, fuck with that restaurant shit, man. We in the mood of being. Go out every now and again to eat, keep up with the Joneses, whatever. But we in the spirit of going out, like, so we have to go out to restaurants. Give a shit about that, man. You got a stove in your house for a reason, nigga. You got a stove and an oven in your house for a reason, man. Use it, man. Utilize it, man. Hell, man. Fuck these devils, man. Don't even know what they're cooking nowadays anyway, man.
That's it. Well, and it's the beautiful thing, because once again, and this is how we know, once again, that this man is getting ready to do a thing, because he's basically got people divided over, you got a jab or you haven't got a jab. But these times he's taking the food away, man. people talking about, oh yeah, but without the jab, you won't be able to go to restaurants. Soon the restaurants are all gonna be closed. There ain't gonna be no meat in the restaurant.
Price is gonna be off the charts anyway. You ain't even gonna be able to afford to eat off the starter menu, let alone the 3-course meal.
Yeah. Hey, Weimar Republic times where they had to agree a price before they sat down because the price of the meal would have gone up during the meal, man.
Yeah, for that hour. You know, next 5 minutes would be a sharp rise.
That's it, man.
Inflation's a motherfucker. But even the other day, I said it to brothers. I just went to buy a little honey pot. Normal honey pot usually costs you £3, and I saw the price. I went to the counter. I said, "How much is this?" And he told me it was double the price. And then he explained why. It's like, "Yeah, I would love to give it to you for a normal price." This is an Elamite, by the way, so-called modern-day Indian. And he was saying basically they're low in stock. They ain't got much of this left in the store. And the truck drivers, the European truck drivers, are refusing to bring in their load. Yeah. So he said they have to double the price. He said he ain't got a choice. Otherwise, he's fucking up his business, basically. I was like, yeah, I can agree, man. But that's what's going to be happening. Inflation, then super inflation, which is hyperinflation, man.
Remember, Brexit means Brexit, mate.
Britain's on its way out. Britain's going into the dump, and America's definitely going into the dump.
America's done.
All these things are just bubbles. Even these financial investors, brothers been talking off camera. They're all saying the same thing. This guy Stockman saying, get gold reserves. Make sure you get your gold and invest in precious metals, man. Because once they start with this great reset, that's going to be more important than this cash, this paperless money that you got in your pocket, man. There's all these digital currencies, man, crypto, and that shit don't mean shit, man. Once this system goes bust, man, you're gonna need those precious metals, man, gold and silver. And gold, like silver, is the poor man's gold. So those are the rules. The apostles been saying that for years, man. Invested some damn silver, man.
Yeah, and the thing with the silver as well, it's undervalued at the moment.
Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah. Because right now is a good time to be getting some silver, because like when you look into it, there's something called a gold silver ratio, and I think it was like in the 30s or 70s, something like that. There was basically a time when 17 ounces of silver would buy you 1 ounce of gold.
Yeah.
Right now you need around 70 ounces of silver to buy what? Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's real money right there. I told you that in the book of Haggai, man. That gold and silver is the Lord's money, man. So that's real money. As opposed to the elders been saying, man. Abraham dealt with real gold. Genesis 32. Abraham had gold and silver and cattle, He didn't have FRN notes, man. They didn't exist back then. I'm sure he would have used that to wipe his nose. If they had FRN notes back then, he would have used it to wipe his nose with, man. Because that's not real money. You can't do shit with that, man. It's only as real as you people make it, man. That's what you people, that's what you people don't understand. They're doing the same thing with a digital currency. They're making you believe it's worth something. It's not worth shit. You invest in it, then the shit goes bust. You lose all your money, and who reach the benefits? The ones that created the coin in the first place. The ones at the bottom trying to invest. You lose out. That's why they're showing you, even with these cryptocurrencies, all bubbles, man. They all pop. The difference is this whole economy is gonna pop now, man.
It's James 5:1. Go to now, you rich man.
Who's the rich man? He's elite banking family, man. They're the ones controlling the money system, basically. Going on.
Yep. It says, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Yes, the shit ain't always gonna go their way, man. Shit's gonna go south soon. And you're slowly but surely seeing that. Even though they're the ones orchestrating it. But even within that, they're gonna come into some straits, man. Things are gonna get difficult, man. It's not gonna be as easy as they thought it was, man. Because imagine just crashing the whole world economy, man. Like there's gonna be mad catastrophes from that, man. Mad chaos, man.
Hey, there are variables in this that Esau hasn't accounted for. Because the thing, he thinks that these demons are fully working with them, and for instance, that's why the scripture says in Isaiah 47, stand now with thine enchantments. So be thou. I forget how the rest of it goes. But, because he's basically been consulting these demons, and they're thinking that okay, cool. All we have to account for is X, Y, Z. But as we were speaking, not amongst ourselves, but with other archives we've been speaking about in the week, through the spirit, we've been speaking about it during the week. Right here it is. Esau has certain dates that he's aspiring to. Right, this date, that date. But what you gonna do, when the Lord? Let's not say the Lord is gonna do this, but what you gonna do if the Lord just says to one of the chariots, one of the angels in the chariot, yo, just go cotch above the White House.
For a couple of days.
For a couple of days. What happened then? Then Esau's gonna have to all of a sudden he's thinking his plan's going this way, but then now he's gonna scramble fighter jets, try, then he's gonna have to come up with a new cover story. There's been there's been an invasion, blah blah blah. Now that throws your whole plan out. Now you gotta do something else.
The Lord Yahweh Shai is the spanner in the works of your New World Order, and that's the stone that's going to support the aliens, tenfold, which is the empire that's ruling right now, the second leg of the Roman Empire with NATO and the EU. Lord's going to smite the 10 toes. That's the spanner in the works of your New World Order. That's what these devils don't seem to want to, admit. They know about the chariots, but they don't want to admit that that's the Lord coming to basically fuck up their New World Order. Right? They're trying to escape that. They ain't going to be able to hide from the Lord for long, But, it tells you that it's going to happen all of a sudden. Though. Isaiah 7, might as well read that, because it goes into that. While you're doing your New World Order antics, it says all of a sudden, the Lord's going to start visiting your asses, man, more and more.
20 and 22. And the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straight. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Shai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Yes, everything's not going to be sweet. Your New World Order is not going to flourish, man, like you think it is. It's going to let you get a little glimpse, make you get more pomp and proud, thinking, yeah, I've done it. Like Charlton Heston, but in reverse. You did it. In reverse, they finally did it. And that's why they got in a dollar coin, the newest collectors, man. Announcing the birth, of the enterprise and all that. New World Order, all this firm. But it's not gonna work out. It's not gonna pan out as you devils think, man. As soon as you devils start chipping everyone in the face of the other, chipping as many people as possible, that's when the Lord's gonna step in and fuck your asses up.
Lord, he's not accounting for the fact that the Lord's gonna give his man spirit powers.
Yeah, all of that. That's the span in the work, man.
Or you know what? Maybe in like in Black Lightning where they had the special guns.
Yeah.
They said the meta guns. Yeah, we studied them. Right, we just have these guns. It's gonna kill them. No, it doesn't matter if they get spiritual. Esau, man.
If he probably has got certain weaponry that's gonna try, and it's not gonna do nothing to the men of the Lord. All that shit's just gonna, he's gonna be like
Magneto,
yeah, man. Hold the safe,
they're gone.
Hold the safe. So it's gonna be in that day. Now people are gonna be willing that day of our power, man. They're gonna see the man of the Lord with some different type of stuff. Yeah, man. There's some things, man.
You're gonna have thousands, man.
The ministry, yeah, man.
And that's what ultimately, once again, there's certain people that we might be worried about. Will so and so look, man. In them days, man, when they start seeing certain things, then there ain't gonna be no question about it, man. If they still can't see it, then they just do destruction.
You see 144,000 Brandon Briars, man. Bright burning this place, man.
Yeah.
Going ape shit on this place, man. Esau's army. That's coming as well. That's part of the spanners in the work. Yeah. You got Isaiah 47. Finish that one with your big bread. Finish that job.
So Job just a bit higher up. Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short?
Yeah, to fucking say. So that basically is what the scripture is saying there. So look, man, look. Look at all of the different accounts when people doing wickedness.
Look at Belshazzar.
Yeah, look at all of them. They had their triumph, but it was for a short time. That's basically what the scripture is saying there. And once again, Paul was giving an example, right? But all the different kings and whatever, they all had a short time to rule, especially when you compare it to how long we're gonna rule. We're gonna rule for eternity, and we can't even comprehend eternity in weak people's minds.
The devils can't do shit against us, man. God's gonna make a sharp pressure having teeth in that thing. We're gonna be the battle axe and weapons, natural born weapons, literally, man. You had a little glimpse that in the 60s with the brother from Congo, the Black Jesus story. Pete, and that's the supposed story of him having spiritual power. They cut out his heart, they mutilated him, put him in a grinder, and he kept reappearing before the wicked elite, man. As himself, saying, I'm just gonna leave you guys now to keep fucking with me, but that there's gonna be a time in the future where there's gonna be more of me coming, and you ain't gonna be able to stop us. That's what he said. That's going into the times when the Lord's going to turn these fishes into hunters, man. Those men are going to have spiritual power, and these devils ain't going to be bullets. All that shit's not going to be able to stop us, man. The vaccines, all of that.
So ultimately, you control all of that in the most side, right? The angel just make it such that the bullet goes the other direction.
It's bounces off you, man.
Yeah,
Bounces around you, whatever, but they're not going to be able to do nothing against you. They're going to be able to fuck. The Lord turns up the heat. You know, turns up that spiritual power notch on high. You know, it releases that, you know, that portion of the spirit on you, man, like Samson and all that. These devils ain't able to do shit against you, man.
Hey, you know, in the music studio, man, you got all of the dials, and you just look right now, all of the dials at the bottom. Right, look, it's like that, man.
Gonna put it on a extreme.
That's it, man.
Yeah, man.
That's it. Like a conductor.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. It's got a low vibration right now, but he's gonna turn it up. You ain't gonna be able to stop that. You devils have been fighting for your whole life to try and get that type of power, man. You're never gonna get it because you're not the sons of the Most High, man.
Everything this man's work for, we're just gonna get more
Immortality. Another night.
and it's promise.
Promise to yeah, for us, yeah.
It says Job 20:5 that the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and it's funny because when we was driving on that bridge as well, you saw nothing but old rusty skyscrapers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And cranes and cranes, a symbol of man.
Renovation.
He saw concrete jungle. But what did the Lord say, man? He's gonna frost it through. When the Lord gives you the spirits, it's tea with the eyes of the sea. It's evident to see what the scriptures is talking about, man. And it's talking about the wicked Esau Eden being totally frosted through and made a great example out of, man. You know? It says here, and the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment, though his excellency mount up to the heaven and his head reach onto the clouds, yet shall he perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him, shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. He shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Yeah, see, a new world order is only going to be for a short span of time, man. It's only going to be for a moment. It's just the joy of the hypocrite, man. You think that your kingdom's going to go on forever. That's your vain imagination, man. That's a pipe dream. That's not going to happen, man. You're imagining a vain thing. You also said the joy of the hypocrite is short, man. So your new world order is only going to be a short little barrage, man, basically. Then it's going to be taken away from you, man. You know, and the Lord's going to command the angels to chase your ass, man. Like it tells you in the book of Psalms. We're going to be part of that you know, those hunters chasing your ass to enslave. It's beautiful times, man. Everything's panning out.
Yeah.
You know, everything's really just panning out the way it's supposed to, the way the Lord said, man. That's why you have to wait. We're basically on the Lord's time, man. We just have to wait, man. Patience.
Hey, fucking film what you just said. Because we weren't getting worried when we started seeing these mandates. We was getting excited.
That's it, man.
Because that was showing us, okay, cool. This is moving forward, man.
Yeah.
You know, Scripture 2 Ezra 9 talks about measuring the time. And then we're saying, okay, cool. We're saying we can't do anything without these mandates. Okay, cool. The MOTV comes up soon. It's the brother. I don't know if it's an elder or brother. Going to speak about Vanessa. I think we called it a Marcus, man.
Yeah, man. You know, just big words, isn't it? You know, how it goes like that. But it's true what you're saying because, you know, everything that's happened is linked up in the scriptures, man. Everything that comes to pass, we link it up with the precepts and fill the scriptures and be like, yeah, this is what that's talking about. Oh yeah, Jacob's trouble is gonna happen like basically right now, like soon, because these things are happening. And that's when you know Jacob's trouble is gonna come. The hour of temptation, the last. Now these things are happening because why? Because it's written up in the scriptures, man. So the story's playing out the way the Lord said it was going to play out. It's just coming in His time and His sequence, not when we want it to happen, but it's coming. It said that the prophecies are not going to tarry, man. Wait for it, shit, because it's not going to tarry. And you can plainly see in the last 2 years, these prophecies are not tarrying no more, man. Things are speeding up. People are getting judged, jacked up. All kind of disasters across the earth, earthquaking and shaking and erupting and manholes and all this. The Lord's bringing judgment, man. Yeah. So things are opening up right now, and it's only the beginning of the fight before the storm, so to speak. But things are drastically going to start getting worse and worse, and all these mandates. Now you know that Esau's about to release the horns, because he knows that he has got a short time. He's seen the chariots, all these things. It's prophecy being fulfilled, man.
That's what we said that. Australia sends in the army to enforce its lockdown. Yeah. Soldiers and police will patrol Sydney.
You're right. You had to sit down like last night. Yeah, man, because now is the time they're moving to the next phase of this thing, man. They're not wasting time no more.
Yeah.
As you know, Jake's sleeping out here, want to get into that party and bullshit spirit. Should we then make mirth? He's so sharpening his furbishing that sword, man, which is what the hour of medical martial law. Martial law, basically. Yeah. You know, which is going into the hour of temptation, getting ready to basically announce this new world order, man. It's getting the martial law troops in there. That's why they're enforcing it. Like I've been saying, Australia is like proving grounds for this new world order because the way they're treating their citizens out there, it's like they want to chip everyone tomorrow, man.
Yeah,
They're just going full throttle with the austerity measures, man. They ain't holding back. They got lockdowns and all this shit. They're just enforcing shit. They're not being light-hearted with it like UK is right now. But soon it's gonna get to that how Australia's gonna be like the UK is gonna be like Australia soon. The military's gonna be out in the streets enforcing shit, enforcing mandates and all that. And that's going into the MOTV. That's when we're gonna know that the mark of the beast is being instituted. Then after that, things are going to even speed up even more. Just the word of the Lord, man.
Beautiful, man.
Beautiful, man.
Beautiful. So how are they getting food into that part of the city? Because you remember when England went into that lockdown at the beginning of the year, they was having basically you had the whole thing with the truck drivers not being able to leave. So as part of that, the truck drivers the truck drivers were like, yo, fuck that, I ain't going to England, right? And still seeing that to this day, man.
Second as a 15.
Yeah, got it.
That's that whole chapter, and 16 goes into the hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble. What we're seeing right now in society is basically what we're reading in Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, man. But it's going to get worse.
Over 6 cases, over a few cases over there in Australia, man.
The lowest cases they've ever had, and they wanted to enforce martial law. That just shows you it's not about this so-called CV. It's about control, man.
It's a thing of what do you call it? Like the brother said, proving grounds. Because if you notice, in all the different countries, are doing something slightly different. They at least are seeing, okay, how far can we push these people?
Yeah.
Right. What's the break?
Right?
Yeah, but you know what Esau's been finding? That they're willing.
They're complying, man.
It's
all trial and error, isn't it? It's just basically testing the guinea pigs. It's all like a scientific experiment, live experiment on the people, man. People just don't realize they're being used as guinea pigs, man. They're just falling for the lies, because they're stupid.
And Jacob and Rothschild and Evelyn and them,
they're salivating. I'm like, we've got them where we want it.
Like, right, this was easier than we thought.
They said, and then they always use the quote, never let a good price go to waste. They're not letting this go to waste. There's no such thing as going back to normal.
Yeah, this
2 years ago, all that shit's over, man.
Do you remember 2 weeks to flatten the curve out?
It's over, man. All this was not for no reason, man. We did all this orchestrated, all this propaganda for this moment that we're coming to now, which is the hour of martial law, the new world order. So they're not going to waste time. They're not going to go back. They don't care how many people they have to slaughter. They're going to slaughter as many people as they like, because that's in their nature anyway.
They're as death.
They're as death. Don't give a shit, man. These devils are never giving a shit. That's what's wrong with you, Jakes. You don't understand. They don't give a shit about you. They don't spoil you, man. They just do it behind closed doors, so you think that someone else did it. They'll blame it on someone else.
Well, you look at the bloody abortion clinics, man. Right, and it's the thing. People don't consider that straight up slaughter you tribesmen, but it is. You go in. It was once again 2012, an infamous year in New York where more babies were slaughtered in the womb than were born, man. That is a war against our people. That is genocide, man. And when you look up who created that whole Planned Parenthood thing, it was Margaret Sanger, a eugenicist, man. Yeah, quote she said, man, the undesirable. We can't let it be known, right, that we're trying to solve the Negro problem. You can look up the quote as it was said.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
As soon as you say stuff like that, you're conspiracy theorists. Shit coming out of these own devil's mouths, man.
Worst thing is, I remember saying this to a nigger woman, man. I just got to call her what she was, man. But at least that was before. That was before. This was 50 years ago. Her parents probably ain't even that old, man.
You can't see what's coming down the pipe. You know, boy, you got a lot of shit coming to you, man. You've got a lot of pain to look forward to, man. There's a lot of death coming.
At the same time, know it after death, God pain.
That's it. It's all a game, man. But Esau's still going to lose at the end. He's going to lose the game. You might think he's going to win. He's still going to lose. It's all a game. It's all chess, man.
Ezekiel 21:8. Again, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Say, a sword is sharpened and also furthest.
We've seen examples of that right now in Sydney, Australia, man. The Aussies are getting fucking mangled and dangled over there, man. They ain't got help in the world, man. All they can do is abide and comply. They don't know this truth. Israel's over there as well. There's Israelites scattered over there in Aussie land, man. Australia.
Oh, because when you look into the history of Australia, a load of them was basically Irish slaves went over there to
There's a lot of
Australia.
dicks over there. They scattered around the fours of the earth. But if they don't wake up to this truth, they're not going to be delivered, man.
Yeah.
They're not going to be delivered. They're going to end up, complying and bowing down to this devil and being destroyed, man, in the end. You know?
Yeah.
That's why this truth is imperative, man.
And you fucking saying these elites, man, they're saving that powder keg called America to the end, man.
Yeah, the Lord's saving the best for last.
Yeah.
That's the place where it's happening.
Yeah. Hey, once again, I sent that video to the brother that visited us from Mississippi, and he was like, "Look, man, them Edomites down there, man, they're tooled up and they ain't complying already. So when they start coming down with their hammer, them tooled up, even they gonna be like, look, man,
Veterans.
yeah.
You're still not going to report on that until it gets,
That's it.
the shit gets real heated. But yeah, shit's popping off. It's just not being reported in the news. Unless it's like alternative, man, and someone spills the beans.
Yeah. When you had those ELM riots, those Edomites were ready and strapped up, man. And you saw the videos on the social media. They was there saying, listen, there ain't no niggas gonna come up in our area and shit.
Anarchy in the streets, man. It's coming, man. Coming to a town near you.
Wait.
Yeah, we can't wait, man. That's why I see more uproars. And we're happy, man. We're happy that these more uproars are happening. That's prophecy's been fulfilled.
Okay, so what it is, that's like bingo. You know, bingo, you hear a number, you tick it off. That's how these prophecies are. We're like, oh shit, that's happened. Bing! You know? And then as soon as we hear everyone must take this mark, otherwise bing, we're gonna be yes, bingo! We're all excited and shit.
We get excited, it's supposed to be rejoicing.
You know?
These are all like faith boosters for us.
Yeah.
It's like, the Lord said it's gonna happen. And it's happening. So like it boosts our faith that the Lord's coming.
It's sharpened to make us so slaughter.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of dead bodies out here. Martial law, when martial law gets proper instituted, man, over here in the UK, there's gonna be a lot of dead people out here. America especially, Australia, they're gonna start getting a glimpse of that. You know? I know they're not gonna report on the amount of people they're gonna be slaughtering out there. They're just gonna act like everything's smooth sailing and all that, but there's gonna be a lot of dead people out here.
Because once again, if no one reports it, then how are you gonna know it happened?
Yeah. Cut off the internet, all these things, right? Censorship and all that. Well, that's going to be happening as well. They were doing that in Cuba. It was locking up when all the homeless people rioting and going throughout the streets. All kinds of people getting killed. But it was they turned off the internet services, man. So people couldn't report what's going on. It's called the Cuba crisis, man. Ever since that week, like 2 weeks ago, you ain't heard nothing ever since. The shit's still going on.
Yeah, because once again, that media, because they start reporting it, people think these things aren't happening.
Yeah, like they got rehoused or something. Like they all got houses. They're still out there in the streets, man, fighting the water, man. That shit ain't stopped, man. It's because the news ain't reporting on it no more. It's getting worse, man. That's what's coming, man. The Lord's saving the best for last, his brothers are saying, which is America and UK, and the beast that the beast country based.
Far too long. The problem has been everywhere else.
Yeah,
because if I could say this, because once again, the West has been at war with Afghanistan for the last 20 or so years. That hasn't affected our lives anyway. All of these calamities have been over there, but it's a beautiful time because the Lord is now bringing these calamities here, right, close to home to a people that can't survive. Because once again, them people out there, they were used to hardship anyway. But these people here, they can't. Oh, 2008, people lost their a couple 100,000 on the stock market or whatever, started jumping off buildings, man. So imagine what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's dark out here.
It is sharpened to make us full slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. So we then make mirth. it
Yeah, we're supposed to be in a lollygagging, partying type of spirit. Want to go party Saturday night fever? You're supposed to be in that spirit. All hell's about to break loose, man. No, that's a big no-no, man. But, you know, our people, as we've been saying, man, our people just are simple, man. Simple believers every word, like they just follow the wicked because they're easily seduced. They're gonna end up being slaughtered, man. They're gonna be part of that large number of Jakes that are gonna be slaughtered because they're simple, man. They're not looking at the signs of the Lord. They're not looking for them, man. Like we are, you know.
Yes. It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he have given it to be furbished that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
And he saw Edom, if you don't know, man, like he's the ultimate slayer, man. He's been slaying since you know, conquering the West and all that, man. The conquistadors. They're known as the conquerors, man. Yeah. You know, that's in their nature. The red horse. Take peace from the earth, create wars.
Yeah. They were saying from the beginning, because what Cain, Adam, Fire, killing instrument, right? John 8:44. Yeah, Yahushua was speaking to Israelites, but he was referencing Esau, man. Ye are of your father the devil. Right? He was a murderer from the beginning. Right, the father of lies, man. Wait, but this motherfucker lied to the Most High. He lied to the Most High. Right? He's like, yo, what happened to your brother? Oh, my brother's keeper, like you don't know.
Don't care. That's the spirit. That's what he does. Yeah. He doesn't care, man. Yeah, because he's heartless.
That's it. He doesn't know how to be right, man.
That's what the Lord made him to be. But that's why the Lord especially said, I hate Esau, man. Forever, man. The people that he has indignation against forever. Like, the Lord's never going to let up on hating Esau either, man. He hates them because he knows what they are. They're the scum of the earth, man. Right. He created them to be the scum of the earth, man. Everyone, just like how the Most High hates them in the near future, everyone's going to hate Esau, man. Everyone's loving him right now, seeking his, proof one with that. But in the kingdom, everyone's going to look down upon the devil, man, and hate him, man, for what he really is, man. Knowing that he's the scum of the earth. He's a vile person, man. He needs to be changed and really he needs to be exterminated. That's why after 1,000 years, they're going to be Obadiah 18, man. They're going to be exterminated. No one's going to cry when the nation of Esau gets exterminated in that day, man. Everyone's going to be rejoicing. I'm sure even the heathen are going to be rejoicing, man. They're going to be rejoicing when we exterminate the Edomites, man.
Because the reason I was thinking that as well is because in Isaiah 13 says basically we're going to be getting on them and no one's going to get in our way because they're going to be all with it. Because at the end of the day, this man, once again, you think about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? You had people that were just there chilling, right? And depending on who you believe in the history books, Japan at that point was like, okay, cool, we surrender. But now these guys desperately wanted to test out that weapon, man. They wanted to test out that weapon to show to the world their power. So they just killed 100,000 plus people, man. They just killed them.
They're bloodthirsty, man. That's what they crave, man. They can't help themselves, man. That's why Cain did what he did, man, because he couldn't help himself. Mm. They lost after blood. They lost after the wickedness, man. He knew the right thing to do, but he didn't want to do the right thing because he knew that's not going to satisfy him, man. That's why he didn't do it. Yeah. He didn't want the blessings, man. He didn't want to sacrifice the right crop to the right, sacrifice to the Lord because he knew that wasn't enough to fill him. He was like, F what the Lord feels. I want to do what I
wanted to do this lust.
And that's why Esau Edom came in the exact same spirit, man. Esau Edom came in the exact same spirit, man. Because what you gotta understand about this man is that at the end of the day, man, this man can't change who he is, man. He's been created for the purpose of wickedness. He's been created to be that vessel of wickedness, to bring wrath upon the earth and to ultimately be destroyed, man. But at the end of the day, in the same way that as Esau is Israel's it's prophesied for Israel to be saved, it's saved inevitably, regardless. In the end, all Israel is going to be saved, but 2/3 of our people have to be destroyed. All Esau Edom has to go out and fire, man. There ain't going to be no need for them.
And we read it in Jeremiah 13. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Neither can those that are casting 3 people do righteously. And after 1,000 years, well, we're just going to have to constantly have the thought, oh man, these Edomites are trying to start another insurrection. Go out there, squash that rebellion. No, scripture says in the kingdom, right, they shall be no need for war anymore, man. right? So that means there ain't gonna be no need for Esau, right? Because what his blessing was the sword. But there ain't gonna be no need for you in the kingdom anymore. And you are the wicked, and our kingdom is the kingdom of righteousness.
Whatever you do, done it. So,
Yeah.
what do we need you around for, man? You was created to be the wicked. And the kingdom of heaven is not going to be a wicked kingdom, so you're not going to be needed anymore.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, everyone has their part, the characters that play their part.
Yeah.
Your part's going to be done by them. Right? You're going to be needed.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdom, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden down under feet. Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, an Edomite is gonna, really, right now in this modern time, even though you're exalted in your wickedness, an Edomite is the most detestable thing that you could possibly be up on the face of the planet Earth. He was actually the vessel created to have no mercy from the Heavenly Father. He was literally created with a sell-by date, man. And that's why the Heavenly Father is gonna make the greatest example out of you, man, because you're gonna be the perfect example of what you don't like. The reason why you don't mess with Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, man. You can go to the British Museum and learn about the Babylonians and the Medo-Persians and ancient Egypt. They really and truly, when the king, and even those nations, even though their kingdoms have been removed, they're still around, and the scorers around the world. But Esau, Edom, there ain't gonna be a single Edomite left, man. It's gonna be nothing but memory.
Should be there. Yeah. And the thing is, people hear or say these things, and they think, but how can that? But look at it, like you mentioned, the Babylonians. Look at them now. Of course, Yoko bellies, man, swatting flies from their face. Through. But they were the head. The worst things, they were the head of gold. They were the head of gold, and Esau was what? Iron. Yeah. Yeah.
You're the bottom. You're the basis, man. You're the base of man. You're the basis of the nations. But look how proud you are. You're more proud than the Babylonians were, man. Look at the height that they came from, the decadence and all that, man. The head of gold, as the brother said. But they were proud, but this devil was the proudest out of all the heathen, man. He's the most proudest and vilest out of all the heathen. That's why the Lord's going to destroy him so hard, man. Because he's iron mixed with miry clay, the lesser depleted metals or whatever, but he's the proudest out of all of the nations that have come and conquered the earth, so to speak. But he was the major colonizer in these last days, man. From the Greeks to the Romans to this empire right now, they're the major colonizers of the earth. And that's why they got that pomp and that pride now. They talk about going into space, and, they're going to be destroyed, man.
Jeremiah 50:23. How's the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?
Yeah, Esau is the hammer of the whole earth. That's why you can't negotiate with this devil. You can't make no deals with him. You can't expect to get peace out of this devil. He's not about peace. He's the hammer of the earth, man. He's here to bring destruction. He's on a petition. Yeah, man.
So I was gonna say, it's literally a thing of you do as he says, not as he does. Because one minute, French, even in these whole things, 1 minute it say, oh no, we're not gonna do a passport thing. Then the next day, actually, we've had a revelation. We should do this passport thing.
Point back on his word.
Yeah.
That's what these devils been saying throughout the whole pandemic, man. They keep constantly going back on their word. They're saying that they're not going to mandate for a country that doesn't force people to do. Now they talk about mandatory vaccines, mandatory passports.
Yeah.
They always go back on their word. That's why you never speak to trust them. Yeah.
But once again, in contrast, you've got the Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yahweh Shem Yahushua says, and it's saying it's constant. Yahweh Shem Yahushua says, this is going to happen.
He sticks to his word.
That's
though.
it.
That's a difference.
It's done. Why? And that's why scriptures talk about trusting him. Yeah.
No change if not.
Change if not. That's why we trust Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not this devil.
That's what you can do is trust. Put lots of trust in man. Let every man be a liar, but the whole side be true.
Yeah. Hey, because let's be real, right? If you had a chick, right? You had a woman, and then she was always switching up her story. Oh, so babe, I'm gonna do this, and you find out, okay, but I thought you said, oh no, decide. You can't be like, no, I can't trust this bitch. However, that's what these people are doing with Esau. You know, Esau's been saying, I'm going to do this, no, I'm going to do that, no, I'm going to do, I'm going to do that, but he still trusts them, man. Whereas he's shown them nothing to trust.
Trust in more lies. Lies
Or trust
built
and
upon
oppression.
More, yeah, put their trust in oppression. Trust in more lies built upon more lies. Layers of bullshit, man. So basically, they have their way. That's basically what's happening right now. They're having their way right now. So they think. You know, still got to read Isaiah 37.
Yeah, still hold on, yeah. For a little bit more. So Jeremiah 50:23 says, how is the hammer on the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
Yeah, because America was, you know, had its height. And now it's about to beat its demise, man. It's had its pinnacle in society, you know, before the 70s, you know, but now it's meeting their demise. You know, so it's going to bring it down from then. So that's what's happening. Now you're seeing the steady decline of the American. That's what most articles are saying that right now. America's falling. So they say everyone's coming out with it. But back in the day, people never used to say that. Now you're seeing articles, people saying America's basically falling, man. You know, like ancient Rome.
Because there's some around, you know, a lot of like middle class, you know, people, whatever, and a lot of them are there. They're now looking at America. These same guys who 10 or 15 years ago would have been like, yeah, I want to go to America, X, Y, Z. They're looking at America like, man, fuck America, man. You know, and hey, it's beautiful though. It is beautiful watching it crumble.
That's how powerful the word of God is. Only people put their trust in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Lord said America's going to be destroyed. Guess what's happening? America's being destroyed. That's it. Yeah, I believe it manifest. That's it.
Definitely, it's a beautiful time. This is time to rejoice. Closer and closer you get to that day of destruction, also the day of deliverance. That's also duality balancing itself. The Lord's coming to destroy and He's coming to deliver.
Second Ezra 6 and 8.
Double D's, man. Talk about the rest. Double D's.
Second Ezra 6 and 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right? So even from the inception of these two creations, these two creatures, these two beings, the Lord said it from back then that this was going to happen in the last days, the latter days. One was going to be stronger than the other. One's going to pull one down. One's going to conquer the other in the end, which is Jacob. Jacob's going to conquer. So even though he was the firstborn, you know, and he had it, and it makes sense because he came out first out of the womb. So now he has his kingdom right now. He's the first, isn't it? So he has his blessing right now. But it says that Jacob was going to take him down. Jacob came out second. We're going to take him down now. We're going to receive those blessings in our kingdom, starting with Yahweh Shai, which is his kingdom that's going to manifest on the earth. And it makes sense because he came out first. So he had the kingdom first. You had Babylon, you had the Greek Empire, you had the Roman Empire. Now you got Babylon the Great. It's yours. You had it. But now your brother's going to take you down, man. And they're going to be valiant.
Yeah, I was going to say, Slaki, bro. Because I was just thinking about that, showing you just how meticulous the Lord is, right? He wanted to use that symbol of Jacob holding Esau's heel. Right, but that means from the beginning of time, what the Lord did, He made it such that when a woman gives birth, what comes out first? The head.
Yeah.
Right, so that means the head came out first. Because if it was the other way around, you couldn't have had that symbolism. You wouldn't have had that symbolism of exactly. So the Lord had that set up and prepared from the very beginning, such that that's the way it happened.
That's prophecy, and everything's panning out the way it's supposed to. You know? All we have to do is sit back and watch and work to the Lord and Lord's handiwork and believe. You know? So we can plainly see that this is gonna take place very soon, man. He saw that he's lying and he's stressing. They're all discombobbled right now. They're panicking, you know, and they're rushing to try and get this new old order on and popping. But all that's doing is you know, enabling the fact that they're going to be brought down in the end, man. They're going to lose it. Jacob's going to bring them down, which the head of Jacob is Yahweh Shai, man. And conquering land of the tribe of Judah, he's going to bring them down, man.
Yep, to Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy.
Ultimately, the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord, through the fear of the Most High, Yahweh, Yahweh, we persuade men. Because at the end of the day, when you study these scriptures, you understand that the gravity, that the actual, the gravity of what we're doing. And you understand the depth of like the judgment that the Lord is about to bring upon the face of the planet Earth. Because then you start to realize that all of the ancient prophets of old into the new all spoke in different interpretations and different visions about the same ultimate end event, about a same day of destruction, and they were all fearful, they were all woeful, and they all described it as a day of extreme darkness, and like the life of which they'd never seen before.
And you said, bro, how bad this day is gonna be, and the scripture says this. Scripture says that the dead shall be cast out as dung. Now, even in them third world countries, when someone dies, they still get buried, man.
Well, at least they what's the
incinerate them or whatever. Oh, yeah, because like in Elam land, they'll just burn them on the piles or whatever. Yeah, they're throwing them in the Ganges now and all of that sort of stuff, apparently. Right, but the point there being, here in the Western world, man, people is going to be left out for dead. Just showing you just how bad it's going to be. I was with a bro the other day, on going for a walk, and there was a dead pigeon, man. A little bit of a dead pigeon, and that place stank. That was one small dead pigeon. Now imagine a place we got loads of dead bodies just piling up, man. How bad that smells with the disease. Hey, sorry.
No, that's definitely going to be like that.
Yep.
And you know, he even talks about, as of late they've been talking about drafting women over there to the Middle East. So that's why the Lord said multitude is going to be gathered.
Yep.
The valley of decision, man, the valley of Jehoshaphat, which Yahweh Shaphat, Most High judgment, man, to be destroyed, man. Because anyone that gets shipped and drafted over there to the Middle East in World War III, they ain't going to come back to the shores of America or UK, wherever their home base is. They're going to die wherever they've been based at, basically, which is over there in the Middle East. The Lord's judgment. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of dead piled bodies over there in the Middle East. That's why one of the first jobs is for the 39th chapter. I told you that these devils are going to have to go around basically burying dead bodies, man. There's going to be piles of dead bodies, man. We're going to be burning buildings and burning bodies as well, man. These devils, they're going to have to actually bury these bodies, man.
Yeah.
It depends to us.
Yep. It's going to be nasty out here, man. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be lawless. Everyone and their lost. They're going to be, because hey, now as our teacher before, I forget which one, basically said, in that day 911 is going to be extremely busy or being, get exactly how he said it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the order. Huh?
There's the point you mentioned about the eviction moratorium. It's just come out that that the U.S. House has had an adjournment for 6 weeks. So basically, they haven't passed an extension, and they're out for the month of August. So August is leading into September, which is a heavy month for the vaccination. August is going to be a heavy month of eviction across the United States.
Stay in your house and just get vaccine. That's going to force the hand, man. It's forcing the hand right now. And that's Revelation 12 and 12, man. Because you know that you have got a short time, he's coming down with that great wrath.
Yeah.
To the point where he doesn't care about your rights, your social liberty. You're going to abide by what he's saying, otherwise you're going to face the sword, man.
Abide then.
Yeah, abide then. Pushing these different administrations and shit. Freeze administration, these are righteous. Freeze. And, it's going to get worse. It's going to get better.
It's just like how because you think when Esau once again showing you how he's the devil, right? You hear about foreign aid and aid this, that, aid that. A lot of that aid is what is referred to as tithe aid, i.e., I'm going to give you this aid, but you have to do X, Y, Z. An example of that was Transport for London. When they got aid from the government was like, okay, cool, we're going to give you this aid, this bailout. However, for us to give it to you, you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. So it's it's not far-fetched that these people of the government are going to say in America, okay, cool, we're going to give you the money to pay off your student, we're going to give you the money to pay off your back rent, to pay back the rent, right? However, part of the stipulation is you're going to have to get these things.
Yeah, man. It was binding contract, man. You know, didn't know that you was attached.
Yeah.
You know, it's a binding contract. You know, you're basically gonna force the hand. You know? That's how this devil does. He likes to get you into corners, man. That's why you notice all them lawyers, they're usually like issues, man. Yeah. All the lawyers are issues. They know they can fuck people over by using the law against them, man. He saw the ultimate devil in that. You know, the Amalekites, they're the wisest out of the nation. I mean, nation of Edom. It's lucky that's they're the wise guys out of Edom. Duke of Edom. It's the Amalekites, man. That's why they always use the law to get their way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think a place where schools of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So this ain't going to be a words in the book anymore. Slowly but surely seeing how things are turning out and being changed in society. That's why they're constantly printing this money printing this money out of thin air, wasting money, government spending and all that. They're doing it on purpose, man, and Biden stop saying that that's going to help boost the economy. Really is hurting more than it's helping. They're doing it on purpose so they can get to the stage here where they can introduce that new biometric system, man. Digital money stored in your skin, your DNA. Yeah. So they can, dispatch and take away the money, the credits and debits as they see so fit. Show everything about it. That's what it's coming down to. Wow.
And the thing is, these things, I also really think about, these things are going to be such that it's going to know who you're around. You're trying to bring a woman around Eastwood knows you're dealing with a woman. Why the hell you want to let that man so close into your life like that, man? It got that technology, the basic things like the NHS. That whole pandemic shit.
That's
watching the house. Yeah. That's what it is. That, they don't have to put wires in your house. Yeah. They can do it. And install wires and cameras. They can bug your house. They don't have to do that no more. They showed you that in every other state. Yeah. Putting bugs in his shoes, in his clothing, his tie, his wallet, all that shit. But they don't have to do that no more. They can just tap into your smartphone, tap into your smart TV, your fridge. Yeah. Your Apple Watch, all that. Listen to your conversation wherever you're at.
You got what you call it? The vacuum over the cups. Listening to you.
You're talking to your Alexa. The Alexa is recording. Yeah. Try and switch off your phone. It can still record. Yeah. So they don't need all that wiry shit.
There was that program, man, a Spycraft on Netflix, a good show, and it goes to say some of the things this man does, man. Like, literally, all he does now, he can do, right, is point a laser at your curtain and hear your conversation. Not a microphone, a laser, because obviously when you speak, it's vibrations, and he's able to monitor the minute vibrations in the
That's some James Bond type.
Yeah,
that's not something that the average person is supposed to have. That's something that spies have when they want to try and catch, criminals. And he's supposed to be using that on an average US and British citizen, man. That's it. Spy on you.
Because everyone now is the enemy of the state, which is why, once again, right, we were speaking about being circumspect earlier on. We're not, taken by this man's ways. You had that protest last week, man, in Trafalgar Square, and then and then you had David Icke and them there. But the interesting person that was there was a woman at the end, man. Because the woman at the end, what did she say? She basically was like, "Oh, we need to hang these NHS workers." So at that point, you should be like, "Nah, this is a setup." Because now everyone that went there, everyone that believes that these passports are a problem, everyone that believes against these Vanessa and everything, guess what? Now you're in that ilk of people that wants the NHS workers to be put to death, man.
And they know who was in the area.
That's
it.
Tap
your phone.
That's it.
They know who was in that area at that time.
Yes.
They know who they know whose door to knock on. In that hour time of our martial law, they know who the rebels are. Everything, just like when he had the riots in 2011, notice all those people got shipped off straight to jail because they let that happen so they can tap into who was there. They know he was in this area at this time. They know you went into this store, you stole something, to him, then they ship you away. All those people that ended up going to jail and all that, no one got away. They got cameras and everything.
Cameras everywhere, and those there ain't no such thing as paper tickets anymore.
Yeah,
So you
everyone's
got your bank cards. Well, for instance, that's how they in South Korea. That's how they did the tracking and tracing. There was no need for apps. They just said, okay, cool, such and such had tested positive in that bar. Okay, cool. Give us credit card records of everyone who was in that bar at that time. So guess what? All of them people had to be locked in their homes.
This is how we know that the MOTD is shit.
That's
Because
it.
that is technology that you can't run away from, man. Because it's a part of you. It comes infused in you.
That's the ultimate tracker. It's going to be a walking antenna, man. You're going to know when you wake up, how you wake up, what you're thinking. You're going to be able to tap into your mind, your heart rate, your medical, everything. You're going to know everything about
levels.
When you're angry, your blood pressure's going to rise. When you're calm, you're going to know everything, man. All your vitals and all that.
That's what I was saying. Imagine he's gonna know. He's gonna be able to say, okay, these two chips are near each other, and what is it? The quarter, not the quarter, the other one, the happy hormone. And then that one increases. Okay, these two chips, they like each other. This man's just gonna be in the lab, knowing when you're into someone, controlling everything. That's fucked up, man.
Right now, what's happening now is a big scientific experiment, man. Seeing who's compliant. Only is leading to that shit. That's the major experiment. That's the last experiment.
And the apostle was speaking on it last week about how all of this is being, like the red list, yellow list, blue list, man.
The word experiment means to try out as well.
Yep.
That's basically what he's doing. Making sure everyone tries it out.
2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Yeah, Esau is the man of sin, man. Son of destruction, man. He's that man of sin. He doesn't attain to the laws and the constructs of the scriptures, man. Most High's not in all their force, man. That's why they legislate and they do the things they do. They push all these narratives and these wicked agendas on the earth and the people, man, because they don't fear the Lord, you know. But they're the man of sin, man.
Got that for you real quick, just on the money. Psalm 50, 16 and 17. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to declare my statute, for that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind thee.
They hate the Lord's instruction, man. You know, to them, doing the right thing is not good for them, man. Doing the wrong thing, that do as thou wilt, spirit, that's in their nature. Spirit that's in them is not of right.
Thessalonians 2:4. You oppose it.
And you oppose it. Yeah. It's against everything the Most High is about, you know, or they.
And exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Yeah, that's the God complex, man. He wants to be the Most High. That's why brothers are talking about different examples of why this devil and how this devil's spying on people who've got technology. Because he's trying to be the Most High, man. He wants to put thoughts in, plant thoughts in your head, by way of that science, man, that technology, that shit. He wants to be able to control your mind, control what you're spending, control your attitude, how you're feeling. Even if you want to have sex with a woman, he wants to control that. To sterilize you and all that, man. This man's the ultimate fucking devil, man. He's got a God complex. He's proud.
I can say he already has the ability to control the emotions of people by way of these media machines and by way of that, whether it's old school media or social, especially with social media. Facebook got done a couple of years ago because basically they had been running experiments where basically they showed users on their feed basically negative stuff. So guess what? The people were getting depressed, etc., etc. So that basically means that they can show and drive someone's thoughts and things like that. Once again, you give the example of the algorithms on Twitter, where basically, for instance, here you basically think that everyone is for these passports and jazz or whatever, what have you, right? But it's the algos that's pushing all of that information up to the top, man.
AI, basically. Yeah, that's control technology, AI, man.
They shadow ban the truth, man.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, it's different.
But you get it to where, and at the end of the day, like this is the state-controlled media. Really and truly, people look at places like North Korea and think that really and truly what's going on there is far-fetched. But really and truly, you're going through that here. It's just more so. It's just that subverted. You know what I mean? It's that subverted force, that covert force. But eventually, it's gonna come to a point where it's just gonna be this. The guns is out. You know what I mean?
It's true. And this is the thing, because you know what Princess fucking say, right? When you had the case with Navalny, you know, the Russian opposition leader, right? So people well also they were trying to catch me out, innit? Also, what do you think about the Navalny case? And I was just like, oh no, but it sounds a lot like the Assange case. I had nothing to say. They had nothing to say because then that's what propaganda is. Propaganda is saying, oh, Russia's bad for doing X, Y, and Z. But these times, England is doing the exact same thing, right? And this is it's a straight up quote unquote civilian, but they're doing the same thing. But then the people are putting two and two together.
Really, that's what the cash pay demonize the men of the law, because we're the real truth speakers,
That's
man.
it.
We're the real truthers, man. Assange, all these guys, they're all plants.
That's it.
They're all puppets
That's
of the
it.
elites, man.
Control
You know?
the position.
Control the position, but the real threat to Esau and his NWO, the real WikiLeaks is the men of the Lord, man.
That's it.
They're the ones. We're the ones that they really hate. They're the ones that they despise and they want to get rid of. That's why there's going to be a great insurrection against them that pay Al-Bashir al-Shah.
Oh, right. And it's been that way perpetually for all of the things.
Yeah, I was gonna get Isaiah 40 because speaking about where the real WikiLeaks, right? Now, Isaiah 47 goes into how basically East was revealed, man. Right? That's it. That started off with the apostles and their teachers, man, really saying, "No, this man, this isn't a saying. This is Esau." And people, what's Esau? Oh shit!
Going to the gates of the noble. Yeah, that's
it.
why Esau's still running from that name to this day. They don't want to be called Edomite, but that's who you are, man.
Yeah.
In the kingdom, that's what you're going to be known as. Man. You're going to be called. You're going to be being called. You're going to be being called white men in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, Caucasian. You're going to be called Esau, Edom. All these other nations, they're going to be called by their biblical names also. Moab, Ammon, Ham, all that. Japheth, all these colonized names, derogatory terms, like these devils call them. So they're going to be done away with, man. No, that's not understand. We're going to go back to your heritage. We're going to go back to that Hebrew.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. But yeah, we got.
So Isaiah 47, I'm going to start from the top. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate."
Yeah, how this now is about to be demise. Because this confusion is going to be brought low. That's right.
Yep. It says, "Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, and cover thy thighs, pass over the rivers."
And that's what everyone's seeing. America's not as what strong as it once was. No, that's why you're having, bare back and forth with all these different countries, Russia, China, America, throwing wolf tickets to words and all that, harsh words, because, they're basically threatening each other because they're getting closer and closer to that time of, annihilation, man. Nuclear war, man.
Verse 3, it says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen."
America basically being all smoke and mirrors, man. It's not what everyone thinks. Not those streets ain't paved with gold that everyone once thought. It's all lies, man. It's all a mirage.
Yeah. Really Skid Row.
Yeah, man. Sin City, man.
It says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man."
That's talking about the Lord Yahweh God coming, man. There's nothing these devils can do to stop that day. They try and run and hide, but the Lord's still coming, man. His kingdom's going to reign upon the earth. It's going to be an Israelite invasion, man.
Yep. It says, "For as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name."
The Lord of armies, man. Kazabah. Lord is the Heavenly Father, is the Lord of armies. two armies. The part of the army of the Lord, weapons of his indignation.
Yep. It says, the Holy One of Israel, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, but thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdom.
Yeah, you can't be falling down.
It says, I was wroth with my people, I polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand.
Yeah, the Israelites were shipped over into the west, where America, North, South, and Central America. It's given into the Edomites' hand, man. You know, the Southern Kingdom was already over there in America. The devil came over there and colonized, conquered. Then he went over to the West Africa and brought the rest of the tribes. Oh, the Northern Kingdom was already in the Americas, Slovakia. Then he went over to West Africa, conquered the Southern Kingdom, brought them over to the West. So the Lord gave us into the hands of these devils, which is like he was saying, he polluted for a time period.
Yeah, it says, thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou heavily laid thy stroke. As thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst thou remember the latter end of it.
Yeah, the devils never thought that they will come where they're going to lose it all. They thought it was going to, conquer Israel and reign forever, man. That's the, the vain imagination of their heart, the vain thinking that they're going to rule forever over the Lord's people. It's not going to be so, man. They didn't perceive their latter end, that they was going to lose it in the end, man. That the Lord was going to return to judge them.
What's going on that? In Ecclesiastes 8:11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yeah.
So the Lord's gonna make an example out of people even when the time. Lord's gonna make an example out of people even when the time comes. Because at the end of the day, he's gonna catch this man, like I said in the book of Job, in the fullness of his sufficiency. When the majority of the people on the planet Earth are gonna be in that spirit of, like things just continuing on as they were since the fathers, man. The Lord's gonna come and catch these people, literally, man. Catch them slipping, man. As the term goes,
Hey, even these people out here that thought, oh yeah, all we had to do was get the thing, and then we can go back to normal. Little did they know we're going back into lockdowns real soon, man. Hey, you've been. I know you posted it. I've seen it elsewhere as well. But there's a lot of. I think it was either you or probably a Kanan. Right, but basically this whole rumblings about how America's going to go into another lockdown in August, right? And then that's basically what we're saying, and it only makes sense.
Well, you see what's happening in the city right now.
They
never thought they were going to go into another lockdown.
Yeah.
They've got the lowest in cases, but they're going to an extreme lockdown all over again. Why? Because it's coming down to the wire, man. This devil hasn't got a lot of time left, and he knows it. And the same thing's going to happen to America. They're going to go into a lockdown. That's why Biden was saying it's going to be a dark winter. They're telling you, man, it's going to be, and the scriptures even tell you, man, pray that your flight be not in the winter. Because that's going to be, this devil locks down in the winter time, man. It's going to be a hell of a time for a lot of people. People are going to be rebelling, getting crazy. They're going to lose their minds. Minds like they already lose their minds already. After they've been told to take the vaccines and they're still going into lockdown. So it's going to get crazier.
And I think, but I did everything.
Yeah.
I did everything you told me to do.
It's going to get real bad out there.
That's it.
Things are not going to go back to normal, man. It's going to get worse and extremely worse.
It's over me.
The same goes for the UK. You've got the PM promising all these, false promises, but then they're still going to go to mandatory, situations, right? And more further lockdown. Definitely going to be a dark winter, man. It's not far-fetched that they're saying, more lockdowns are coming in the autumn time, going into the winter. Expect the worst, man. That's how you're supposed to think, really.
Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry of the noise It's like as the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Bosra. And it says,
Yeah, the
and
Lord's coming by way of them ships over Bosra, which is America, man. It's gonna fly into Egypt by way of them chariots, man. They call UFOs. Now Showtime wants to show a documentary about, disclosing about UFOs being real. America's been lying all this time, trying, protect the people, but you're still lying to the people. You ain't telling them that that's the angel of the Lord, right? Right. That's the angel visiting the earth, right? That's how the Lord Yahweh Shai is coming back. Same way he left.
now that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs.
Yeah, he saw some stressing. They're stressing now. They're going to be stressing before when the Lord returns to the armada of ships, right? And chariots with the angels. That's why they're preparing themselves right now with this little Star Trek troopers and all that, Space Force to try and combat the Lord. Because in the midst of World War III, while they're all combating each other, they're going to stop and they're going to see the chariots of the Lord. They're going to see the Lord in the air and they're going to try and fight the Lord, like it tells you in Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. And the Lord's going to get busy. The angels are going to get busy and destroy them, man. They're going to get shot out of the skies, blasted out of the heavens, man, literally, man. So that's when Esau's army is going to fall. At the same time, the nuclear missiles are going to be shot. America's going to get hit all kind of, nuclear rumblings. The Earth's going to roll to and fro. It's going to be like a molecular amount of events happening all at once, man. So that's the day of the Lord, man. Darkness, not light.
Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. So what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him.
Yeah, and that's like indicative of World War III, because they're going to be in World War III thing. They're going to be able to escape that situation. And the Lord's going to affect. That's one drama to another. The Lord's just going to exterminate. Right?
Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?
Yes. It's going to be dark for them. It's going to be bright for the elect. So it's talking about the duality. The Lord's coming to do two things: to deliver the elect and to destroy the wicked, man. The kings of the earth and the 2/3, man. He's going to destroy them all. It's going to be darkness for them. For the elect, they're going to witness. They're going to have front row seats and witness this happen, man. Yep, literally. Yeah. To rejoice at the destruction. Yeah.
Verse 22. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take away from me the noise of your songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. But let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. Because ultimately the Lord is coming back, like we've been saying, man, to destroy the wicked and to save the righteous, man. So really, the Lord saying, let judgment run down as waters. That's a mighty statement. That means there's going to be stuff. Yeah, man, judgment is going to flood in, man. To the point where literally, if you ain't been ordained to be saved, the Lord is literally going to take you out, man. Take in gruesome fashion, man. Literally, people are going to be out here left for the dogs to care, man. They're going to be left out here, left for the famine, man. There's so many different accounts, man, of gruesome deaths that people are suffering within the scriptures, and then it's written that this is going to be a time of trouble such as never has been upon the face of planet Earth, man. Daniel's the 4th chapter and the 1st verse. So much so that Michael, the archangel, was going to step in and save for the sake of the Lord.
That's why the Lord said you got to pray for mercy. You got to pray for mercy now. Why it may be done. That's now. It's word, man. It's understanding, humbling yourself and accepting the truth, man. Everyone has to be humble, man. Coming to this truth. Everyone gets brought down, get brought low. It tells you that, man. You have to accept. Basically, that you've gone off, turned away from the Lord. You have to humble yourself, be broken down, and go back up to His word. You have to go through the stages, man. Go through the process. If you're one of His, He's going to protect you in the end. If you're proud and you're doing your own thing and you think it's all about you and you don't understand what you're involved in, then you're just going to be left out there to be destroyed, man, with the rest of us undesirable out here. So it's going to go down.
Psalm 46 and 10. Be still and know that I am Yahweh. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth.
Yeah, it's all about the Lord. That's not about us. At the end of the day, the name's just going to be exalted. It's Yahweh Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So about the Father and the Son, not about us. Really. We're just playing our part.
And as the goal.
Yeah. Heralding the day of the Lord.
Scripture says, our righteousness is full of rags. Literally doing as we've been told to do. It says, yeah, back in Isaiah 47, verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure, right? That dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. For these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widow.
Yeah, that's what we're saying all of a sudden. You know, Esau and his so-called new all the agendas are going to go as planned, man. The Lord's going to put a spanner in the works. All of a sudden, his plans are going to start falling away. The Lord's going to start destroying this devil, man.
Yeah. It says, and they shall come upon thee in their perfection. Yeah. For the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
But that witchcraft has been for the past how many centuries for witching the people, it's not going to help you in that day, man. No, because at the end of the day, the left works for the right. Left works for the the Heavenly Father, just like the right hand side does, right?
Yeah. It says, but thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
It's the whole of pride. Break down.
Yeah. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Yes, all of a sudden, that's why these devils are seeing all these chariot sightings. And, they're trying to block it out from the news media and all that, but people are just reporting it, even though they don't know what they're actually seeing.
Yeah, and that's why they've done all of this. Because that's the thing with he, when he knows he can't control, when he knows he can't hide the truth, just control the narrative. And that's what you're seeing now. He's controlling. He used that opportunity to say, okay, cool. We don't know. That's why he said, oh, it may actually just be something from, some high advanced technology we've never seen.
Yeah, it is higher advanced. Yeah. Higher than your being, man. Celestial being. When you see a chariot, actually seeing angels driving in a vehicle, right? You're actually witnessing an angel driving past you in the sky. That's what you're seeing when you see those chariots. That means there's an angel just past you, this came past you. People just think angels probably don't exist, like it is a fairy tale. But when you actually see a UFO, there's actually a being inside that chariot, controlling that vehicle.
It's terrible.
Yeah. All kinds of terrible, man. Well, some of them angels have 4 heads and all that, man. Tell you that in Ezekiel, the 1st chapter. So there's in the scriptures, some of the in Revelation, they talk about the angels being like beasts.
That's it. Sure. Yep.
So yeah, they can definitely be terrible looking. The majority of the time, they're 2 dark-skinned men, so-called black men, if you will. Very cool, woolly hair. What they would call nappy hair, whatever.
Very tall and very powerful, man.
I mentioned wrong. They come from the spiritual world. So they're endowed with pure spiritual power, man.
Yeah, it shows that at the end of the day, like the angels are able to shape shift and come in a lesser form, appear as mortal men. And so that's why in this as well, the scripture talks about examining yourself. And one famous quote Apostle Gabal always says is that in this truth you can be your own worst enemy. You definitely got to know how to carry yourself, man. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to offend. You know what I mean? Offend how your treatment of brethren, and again also his doctrine. That's which is why you got to make sure that you prioritize this truth. But this is literally a life or death matter. Literally a life or death matter. Why? And the Lord has made it so such where you could see the signs. So the Lord could have had it to where, like, it's moving fast, but it could have happened overnight. You know what I mean? But the Heavenly Father's had it to where things have played out gradually to get like an doors of mercy is gradually being closed. You have his prophets continuously out here every other week warning. But really and truly, when this comes, it's gonna be like in the days of Noah, where the Lord's gonna shut the door, and there ain't gonna be no mercy. No.
It was telling the angels, asking the angels to chase the wicked, man. The angels ain't gonna turn back from bringing that judgment, man. Countless scriptures of how the angels get down when it's that time. Man. They don't refuse to do the work of the Lord, man. They
take pleasure in it. Yeah. And the Lord.
Well, vengeance, man. Judgment, man. Take pleasure in it, man. So when them death angels start coming up more and more, you know, shit ain't gonna be sweet out here. A lot of
This is Psalms the 35th chapter. Psalm 35 and verse 5. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them.
the Lord's gonna command the angels to chase the wicked.
Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them.
Or read up a bit about that.
Psalms 35, and I'll start from 2. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me.
This is the wicked elite, starting with the Rothschilds, all these banking families. They're the ones that's trying to, you know, come against the men of the Lord and the Lord's elect in general, trying to destroy the nation of Israel. The Lord's going to protect his men.
Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be
the wicked elite. They want to chip everyone. They want to take your soul, basically. That's what they're taking the chips all about. You know, them selling your soul. You know, they're going to be able to control you.
Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that defies my hurt.
Yeah, they're going to be destroyed.
Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them.
The angels of the Lord are going to chase them and destroy them. That's why these devils are going to be hiding in their bunkers, hiding in their little space retreats, mountain retreats. And the Lord's going to have the angels chase them, man. Wherever they're hiding, they're going to be found. And brought to justice, man.
Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them.
So the angels of the Lord are going to persecute them. That's not a time to be messing around thinking that the angels are coming to play games. When the Lord gives that decree, man, the angels are going to get down, man. They're part of the hunters too. The Lord's going to command these mighty ones. That's the angels, man. There's a lot of them. You know? Archangels, and there's a lot of angels up there, man.
For without cause they have hid for me their net in the pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul.
Yeah, that's the wicked elite. They was, creating mischiefs at the snare. I was going to say these Psalms 64 before, we was talking about, how these devils are running experiments on everyone, because they make a diligence. That's part of the diligent search. They do a diligent search to be one of their hearts to teach. Because they like to run social experiments on people, man.
Yeah.
See how they're going to react. Then they go on to the next phase.
Yeah.
That's why they got all these different memorandums out of what they want to do for the New World Order.
Yeah.
Even I was back then, something about 3 world wars and all that, man. They're always, trying to run social experiments, man.
Yeah.
People are part of the experiment. You're the lab rats, man.
Yeah.
They look at you as lab rats. That's why they're seeing how many people are complying. They have all these sensors. How many people are taking the max and all that. What can we do to force people? That's why they're trying all these celebs to entice you to take the max. Or they throw little incentives there. Or you can be a vax millionaire. You can do a lottery and win the fucking lottery. Take the max, man. To entice you to, comply. They're running social experiments. Devils have always done that.
Yeah. And if I can say, this man will make it seem like he stopped running experiments on people in like the 70s. When you look at all the messed up experiments they've done throughout the ages, Agent Orange and that, yeah. Yeah. Hey, there's one geezer, man. It's messed up, just showing you that the scriptures is right when he says this man is his spirit is not upright in him. Because there's one experiment this devil run, man. I forget the name of the devil, but he's got an institute named after him. He was trying to find out how young, would you call it, how young you are when you start basically being able to ejaculate. So you know what he did? He masturbated babies, man.
That's the
Man, that's
mentality
really
of the
hard
devil.
to understand because man becomes a man by the when your balls drop by the age of 12.
Yeah.
That's when your man's able to ejaculate. Why? Because you're able to bring forth sperm to create baby, to spread seed. That's when a man's basically becomes fertile, what they call puberty. Right?
Yeah.
That's when a boy becomes a man, and a girl reaches the flower of her age when she basically becomes ripe and plump. The titties
Yeah.
have grown, you know. She becomes more of a, more feminine and more of a, woman. That's when a girl becomes a woman, man. When
Yep.
she reaches the age of puberty, man.
Yeah.
The ex, basically
Mm.
fertile.
Yeah.
Being able to be fertile.
Yep.
That's the why will you
Why would you? Yeah.
ejaculate, make little babies, man.
Yeah.
Baby can't ejaculate,
Yeah.
man.
So I meant I get aroused. So, but yeah, but the point still stands. Yeah. And he's got, yeah. I was say, yeah, he's got an institute named after him. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And that's why Esau has to be destroyed, man, because these things are happening in your kingdom under your watch, man.
Trying to, entice and push his agendas on these little kids, man. Influence little kids. That's why he's got guys like these Disney characters like Little Nas X, demons, enticing the kids into being more over sexual and being more perverse, being homos and getting into trannyisms and all that madness, transhumanoids, you know. He's influenced. He knows that, man.
I'll train up a child in the way he should go. When he goeth, he will not depart from it.
As you said, man, they the council of the big. That's the wicked elite. They know exactly what they're doing. None of this that's happening right now is by a winky dink or by accident. They know exactly what they're doing. Man. They all this all part of their agenda. Man.
Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Eden and the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, you art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. And that goes into all of everything that Esau Edom has done, from the physical acts of violence to the medical experiments, to the psyops that he's committed on our people, to the splitting of families, to the emotional abuse, to all of the different, like the iconoclasm, the defacing of images, the devaluing of Jake's mental and spiritual state, man. Because at the end of the day, this man has done everything on a spiritual, physical, and mental level to destroy us, man. And that's why, really and truly, in righteousness, man, we're gonna take pleasure in destroying this man in righteousness, of course, but in every so which way cometh for our minds, man. In righteousness, the scripture talks about our minds meditating terror onto this man. Because at the end of the day, he has to fucking pay. He's got to pay, man. He's trying to inoculate the entire earth with poison. You know what I mean? This man, at the end of the day, this man is created to do wickedness and can be nothing but that, man. And that's why he's going to get Obadiah verse 18, because really and truly, if you allow this man to continue on, it warns us about that in Sirach, the 4th chapter, man. You can't let this man continue on, man. You can't let him around. Nothing safe around this man. Nothing at all, man. Not even nature itself, man. The same things, that organisms that he needs to exist, trees, the grass, all of that, man. The animals. This man is trying to exterminate bees, man. Trying to, doing crazy shit like going into the water and taking octopuses and running experiments on them, injecting them with hormones and drugs.
Plants that grow out of the earth, we're creating GMO herbs now, man. Like, what the fuck? GMO. genetically modified herbs, man. You know, things that grow out of the earth. Now just creating that shit in labs, man. Like, what the fuck? This devil's sick, man. He's a mad scientist, man. He's, you know, infatuated with, you know, yeah. He's infatuated with science, but on the wrong aspects of it, man.
Yeah.
You know, creating Frankenstein, cheese, and all these mad things, man. He's a mad scientist, man. Crazy.
Destroyed gender.
Yeah.
How you going to destroy that?
Even
Like,
your applications now, job applications, whatever, you know, gender, male, female, then it'll say
cis, no,
genderless, it'll say all kinds of shit on there.
not to say.
Prefer not to, all kinds of tick boxes in there now. It's like, what the fuck? Religions, there's all kinds of sick shit in there, man.
But we can't identify this.
You can't call yourself an Israelite, man. That's just against that's a big no-no in this society. That's like the biggest so-called sin to them.
Yeah.
You know, calling yourself an Israelite. What's that?
Anti-ish.
Israelites are the biggest threat to the devil's world order, man. The Lord's coming, man. It's nothing you can stop it. At the end of the day, the Lord's coming. He's gonna destroy your kingdom and you're gonna be enslaved. Starting with you get elite, you're gonna go into slavery. And then you're gonna get tasted your own medicine, man. That's what he's saying. It's gonna happen, man. Don't mark my words, mark the words of the Lord, man. The Lord's the one that said it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's like everything else is happening. Seen earthquakes in diverse places, seen uproars of the people. The Lord also said that them that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Man. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Man. Not no maybe ifs, ands and buts. It said you must be, man. So it means you're going into slavery. Like it or not.
Oh, you ain't gonna like it, not slave.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna love it. Yeah, you ain't gonna like it, you're gonna love it. You're gonna make sure you love it, man.
You're gonna kick you, thank you. What is it? I don't want the one. I don't want the one.
You're gonna learn to love it, man. You know, you're gonna beat it into me, man. It's like you beat our nationality out of us. We're gonna beat slavery into you, man. We're gonna abuse you devils, man. Not in no fucking sick, sadistic way. We're just gonna torture you devils and beat you down to the base level that you're supposed to be at, man. We're gonna enjoy it, man.
And that thousand years.
Yeah, man. That day of extermination, man. We're gonna be rejoicing. We're gonna be sipping yayan. We're gonna be salivating on the day that we have to, bind you up and put you in that bonfire, man. That good fire.
There ain't gonna be no sad music.
Yeah, man. We're gonna be living it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing moonwalks and all that, man. Electric sliding and all that. Flying through the sky, man. Doing backflips, man.
Yeah.
Rejoicing that you're destructive, man. Adding to the fire as well. More fire. The lazy bees come out that hand. Iron and shit like that.
Yeah.
The fire, man. What is weird, man?
That's all the Edomites burn.
That's gonna be like a high holy day kind of thing, man. Day Esau Edom got destroyed, man. We're gonna be rejoicing, man. Yeah.
That's a good time. Good stuff.
Good times, man. That's the gospel. Good news, right? That's the gospel, man. Getting our hands on our enemies, man. You wouldn't want that. Come on, man. That's better than sex more time, man. Getting revenge on your enemies is better than sex, man. 2-pack sex. Getting revenge is next day, yeah.
That's in that pop.
He that liveth
right here. The Rock 25 and 7, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart with that, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
I said, revenge is
Sweet as joy next to getting pussy.
sweetest thing next to getting pussy. And it is. Revenge is sweet, man. Revenge is a bitch, but it's also sweet.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where you're looking at it.
Yeah, who it's coming from. Who's coming from and who's going to.
That's it.
That's it. That's the like the brother said, it's balance. That's the justice, man. If you devils, at the end of the day, we're saying all this to say that devils have to pay, man. And the Lord, it's not us saying it. The Lord said you have to pay. You require that which is past, man. You have to pay for what you've done, just like we had to pay for what we did against the Lord.
You have to pay as well, man. You can't escape. You ain't even the Lord's people, man. Who the hell are you to say that you're not going into slavery? That means the Lord's gonna definitely put your ass in chains, man. If you're refusing, like who the hell are you, man? You some damn heathens, man. You ain't even the Lord's chosen. You talk about you ain't going into slavery. We're definitely going into slavery. You know, you barking up the wrong tree, you know. Devils don't know what you did. You touched the apple of the Lord's eye, man. You have to pay, man. Ain't no negotiations in that, man.
Jeremiah 49 and 12. It says, for thus saith the Lord, behold,
This is thus saith the Lord, man.
Yep. It says, for thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it.
Yeah, so Israel was punished. We're living examples of that to this day. Now you're going to be punished, man. That's it, man. That's justice, man. You got to be punished for the crime you committed and still committed.
That makes me think of Amos. And then Obadiah slugging this is for like violence against that brother Jacob.
Yeah,
You know, because it's in a court scene, isn't it? You know, they'll be like, for you know, this crime and that crime, I sentence you to X years. Well, the Lord's like, yo, for all the wickedness you have done, look, man, I'm just have to destroy you.
one kid that got arrested recently, you know. Oh, he killed some little kid or something like that. The judge gave him, like, white Edomite judge gave him 3 life sentences. 3 life sentences. That nigga ain't never seen the day of light of jail again. 3 life sentences, man. That's over fucking how many hundreds of years, man.
And you come back. You gotta go to the
That's why I never watched it, but that sounds like that altered carbon. That's what they want, man. To be able to make you suffer. So it's beautiful. You want people to suffer. You gonna suffer.
You're gonna suffer, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Because at the end of the day, you gotta pay that tab, man. Everything you're doing, you're still gonna drink the drink of that cup. You keep fucking around.
Yeah.
You keep pushing this new world order agenda, man. You're doing the beautiful job, man.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Keep going, man.
Done.
Reach that pinnacle, man, and your new world order, man. Because as soon as you do that, it's lights out for you devils, man.
Yeah.
The Lord's gonna pull the plug in you, and then you're gonna have the Israelites to deal with, man.
Yeah.
Starting with the Lord.
Them bailiffs, which are the angels, they're gonna come and make you pay that tax.
Yeah. They're gonna come and collect.
Yep.
Coming
Yeah,
to
the
collect,
debt
man.
That's
They're
it.
collected, man. They're coming to collect, man.
Yeah. Right. It's Jeremiah 49 and 12 says, before thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of. Yeah.
Psalm 37 and 9, for evildoers shall be cut off, but they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be.
Yeah, man. Sayonara, Esau, Edom. That's what that is. Bon voyage. Sayonara, man. Goodbye. See you later.
It says, but the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Yeah, we're gonna be delightful. We're gonna be first, man. You know, every Lord's gonna wipe away our tears. We ain't gonna be suffering. We're gonna be in this hellish condition. We're gonna be liberated, man. We're gonna be rejoicing. Who's got? Man, B said in the beef for that. Who's got? What? Smelling good, man. Looking good, man. Yeah.
Poor shall be complete. All shall be enjoyed. Wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming.
Yeah, the Lord's got your days numbered, man. The Lord knows what day he's gonna take to get us out.
The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation.
Yeah, that's the men of the Lord. The NWO agenda. Right?
Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken.
Yeah, the ultimate sword is what? The nuclear missiles, man. So that's the device for the wicked, man. The own wicked devices are going to destroy them, man. At the end.
A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord shall uphold. But the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The
Yeah,
Lord
that shows you that this place is temple, man. And all the things that these devils got, what they all got in games, they're going to lose it all at the end of the day anyway. No, we got the real riches, which is the scholarly wisdom and understanding, man. It can't be bought, man. No.
The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord Yahweh Yahweh shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. They shall consume into smoke shall they consume away.
Annihilation, that's what that is. Anyway, we're going to close out with that. Give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakadash. God's willing, we'll see you next week. Double underscore Apostle, the great millstone, Shalom to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.